All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom classroom, Shalom. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Peace and blessings to the elect of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth before us for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring and doing the work of Yahweh Bashmi Awashah, Shalom. A hearty, mighty Shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there in the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, doing the work of the Most High, presenting their body as a living sacrifice, building up their households, and feeding the flock. Shalom to those men, and shalom to the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways, but they're keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments and the faith. They're building themselves up in the spirit, and are pushing towards the mark. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the aqua out there, the sincere sisters out there, those who may be married, who reverence their husbands and submit to them in the fear of the Lord. Those who may not be married, who tend upon the Lord without distraction, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Shalom to the widows, the ancient men, the children, and everyone else tuning in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. All right, shalom to all of the elect out there in the four corners of the earth, doing the work of the Lord, reading, praying, fasting, being diligent, making their body a living sacrifice in the last days. All right, we're going to start off like we always do in the book of Acts, chapter 18, and verse number 4.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 18, verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right, so we're reasoning in the synagogues, man, persuading Israel to come in, seal the hopeful elect, go over the knowledge, the wisdom, the parables, and all things pertaining to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And let's go to the book of Philippians, right, chapter 4, and verse 13. This is how we overcome all things.
It's the book of Philippians, chapter 4, and verse 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengtheneth me.
Right, you could do all things. You can overcome all mountains, situations, afflictions, all turmoil, and anything where your back is against the wall. You have no way out. This is our way out, man. Yahweh Shah the righteous. This is how we're going to overcome all things and be strengthened up in the last days. Let's go to First Peter chapter 2 and 1. Right, First Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Right, the importance of brotherhood and discernment. Right, so bring that up. These are vital in the truth, man. Right, without discernment, you can be overthrown. Your household can be overthrown. You make one wrong decision. You lean on your own understanding. You allow spirits to overtake you, and all manner of folly that could befall you due to a lack of discernment. You might be going to other doctrines, other spirits. Right, without a brotherhood, you will surely fall, man, because the Lord said two are better than one. So bring that out, 1 Peter 2 and 1.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes.
As what?
As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Now, can we look that word up, desire, right, in the Greek? The Lord said, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So you don't grow by knowing the 70 weeks of Daniel, right? You don't grow by knowing the 12 feathers. You can't hop into the Bible and just read the book of Revelation, right? Because somebody else is reading it. If you want to grow in this truth, you have to start with the milk, all right? Like any child, any baby has to start with the milk. Colostrum, right? Colostrum, they call it the first milk, right? And then once that colostrum comes out, you brothers that have children, you know, right? If you don't have children, you'll find out, man. And then after that, you have that first milk, and then you grow from there. So bring that out, King.
This is Strong's G97, Adalos. And the usage is guileless, in things unmixed, unadulterated, pure, in persons without dishonest intent, guileless.
That's the word. Is that desire? Right. No, we want the word desire. All right, we're going to go to the word desire, because the Bible says, we're going to get it right here, desire the sincere milk of the word.
This is G1971.
Right.
Apetheo. And it means to long for, to desire, to pursue with love, to long after.
Right.
To lust, harbor forbidden desires.
Right, to basically to crave. Right, when the Lord said to desire, it means to long for. Because when a baby wants milk, does a baby just kind of whisper around? Right, hey, you got some of that? Some of them two things. I don't know what they are, but stuff come out of it. You got any more? No, they don't do that, man. They scream. They don't care what time of day it is, man. They yell. You put them down. They fussing and fighting. They want to be held. That's how bad you got to desire the milk. Right? A lot of brothers don't desire the milk the same way a baby desires milk, man. Babies need that, man. If they don't have it, hey, guess what? It's over. It's over, man. So the Lord said, desire the sincere milk of the word that you may grow thereby. Right? Now read it one more time from the top. 1 Peter 2:1.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice.
Laying aside, what is malice? Malice is violent wrath. That's that punching holes in the wall spirit. I get upset, I flip over tables. I follow somebody home because they cut me off. Follow them to their house and I pop the trunk. That's malice. Go on.
And all guile.
Guile is what? Deceit. Working deceit with your brother, not being sincere. You have to lay these things aside. Go on.
And hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy is what? Me telling you to do something and I'm not doing it. Christianity 101. Right? That's hypocrisy. Go on.
And envies.
Envy is what? Jealousy. The one read louder than me, man. He really don't man the Lord. Right? Who does he think he is, man? I want to be just like that, man. Right? I'm gonna actually overthrow him. Right? We get him sick. Right? So that's envy right there. Go on.
And all evil speaking.
Evil speaking is whispering, murmuring, backbiting, slander, tale-bearing, right? The idle words. All of these are evil speakings. Go on.
As newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
So if these are traits that you have and that you exhibit, you want to lay aside those things because you're not going to grow if you still have those spirits on you. You're not going to grow with the spirit of envy. You're not going to grow with the spirit of guile and deceit. You're going to be the same person you was in the world. All the difference is you got fringes on, but your behavior hasn't changed because you're not practicing the scriptures. Right? You got it. You can get the book of Psalms, chapter 42, and verse number 1. Because you got to desire God's words, man. You got to fiend for it. You gotta want this thing with all your heart and soul. Bring that up, King.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 42, and verse 1. As the hart panteth after the water brooks.
Right, and like a dog with his tongue out, who just pants. He's just thirsty, man. He done ran up the hill, ran down the hill. Hey, that dog wants some water, man. When your heart panted after something, that's your mind. Your mind is panting after the precepts. You want the understanding. You want the breakdowns. You want to know the reasoning of things. Read that again.
As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O
so
God.
David said his soul panted after the Lord, man. Every drop, every water, every understanding, every parable. He don't want none of those things to escape him. Read on.
My soul thirsteth for the Most High, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God?
Right, so his soul was yearning for more understanding. His soul was yearning to be closer to the Lord, and his heart and his mind was thirsty for the understanding. And that's how brothers got to be in the last days. That's right. Let's get another one real quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and 1. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. And there's nothing wrong with sticking to the milk. You got to stick to the milk, man. You know, just because, you know, somebody else may be going into a particular breakdown or prophecy, you don't have to hold yourself to that, man. You hold yourself to the standards of Yahweh Shai, man. We all got to work on our own salvation, man. Right? So bring that out.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. And I, brethren, cannot speak unto you as unto spiritual.
As unto spiritual.
But as unto carnal.
So Paul said, I couldn't get deep with you. There are things Paul wanted to show the church, but he held off. Right? Go on.
Even as unto babes in Hamashiach.
Read.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able.
So he's not going to be able to take them to the next level until they get rid of certain things that he's about to explain. Go on.
For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying.
If there is envying amongst you or that you have in your spirit, you're not going to grow. The Most High can't really use you the way that you're meant to be used until you get rid of these spirits, man. So we all have to examine ourselves and say, okay, well, do I have this spirit on me? Right? We went into malice, guile, all these things. The church of Corinth, they had, what was that again? Can you read that? Where there are, was that envying?
For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying.
Envying.
And strife.
Strife meaning fights and verbal altercations and going back and forth in an argumentative spirit. Read on.
And divisions.
And then you got divisions, right? Well, me and Ariah and Nehemiah, we come in the name of Apollo. And then Thawam, Jezreel, and Jonah, y'all come in the name of Paul. And then 3 brothers, they gonna do their own thing. Then we got 10 different group chats, and we all murmuring about each other. Right? Me and Thawam and Jonah got a group chat, and we murmur about Gabar. But then me and Gabar, I now got a group chat, we murmur about Ace. And then we backbite about Nasha'aya publicly, man. Right? That's divisions and confusion, man. Right? Us 3, we're going to teach it like this. And then y'all 3, y'all going to teach it like this. Right? That's off, man. So you can't grow as a body when there's no unification in the spirit, man. The Lord said we have to be of one body and of one mind. So read on.
Are ye not carnal and walk as men?
Read.
For while one saith, I am of Paul.
Let's sit on that. So the point of the matter is the church of Corinth was a carnal church because they had these spirits on them, and Paul wanted them to stick to the milk before they were able to grow and bring until he wanted to bring out what he wanted to bring out to them. Huh? Right? So discernment is part of the milk of the word. Knowing the importance of discernment and the importance of brotherhood is the milk of the word. If you don't understand the importance of discernment and brotherhood, how are you going to be able to break down anything, man? Right? It would make no sense to go into Daniel the 7th chapter, Daniel 2, right? Daniel 8, Daniel 9, Daniel 11 and 12, right? Revelation, Ezekiel, when you don't even know what's the importance of us coming back as a nation, man. Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12 real quick. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit.
Right?
And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord.
Meaning there's different offices in the truth, but it's all through the same Spirit. Go on.
For there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all.
Yeah, you got different operations in the corporation, right? You got CEOs, you got people that work under him, accountants, accounts payable. You got all of that work under that department, right? You might have a division controller. Then you got your CEO. You might have your operations manager. You might have all these things. It's different offices, but they all have the same business plan, right? All company goals. Read on.
Verse 7, but the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
So every brother has a gift to profit this truth. Read on.
For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom.
Some brothers have the word of wisdom. Huh? Read on.
To another, the word of knowledge.
Some brothers may have knowledge. They may know, particular things that you may not know. They may know dates or math or some history or some books that he may have. That's the word of knowledge, huh? Right, go on.
By the same Spirit.
It's all by the same Spirit. Read.
To another, faith by the same Spirit.
One brother might have faith where he believe everything is going to come to pass, man, for him, man. So you might have different gifts, man. Some brothers I may not have the faith that's the next brother, man. Right, but I may have this gift and you may have that gift, or you may have multiple gifts, man. Read on.
To another, the gifts of healing by the same Spirit.
Some brothers can heal you through counsel, right? They can heal you with their words. They can assuage your grief, bind up your wounds, right? Go on.
To another, the working of miracles,
right?
To another, prophecy,
right?
To another, discerning of spirits.
Hold on, to a what?
To another, discerning of spirits.
Hold on, read that one more time.
To another, discerning of spirits.
To another, discerning of spirits. They can judge particular spirits and know what type of spirit that this person is in, even before they hear a word out of their mouth, right? They may even look at this guy. Oh no, hell no, man. I already know what he about to come with, man. And the Lord said, "A man's attire." Let me get that real quick, King Slide. Sirach, you got it. Go. All right, go to Sirach 19-20. The Lord said, "A man's attire, excessive laughter, and gait show what he is." Right? So you may look at a brother through discernment or a sister saying, "Nah, something ain't right." They say, "Don't judge a book by its cover." That's not in the Bible. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you can't judge a book by its cover, huh? Right? Bring that up.
Sirach chapter 19, verse 29.
If I come with a dress on, brothers better judge me, man. Right. If I show up to the Sabbath service with a pencil skirt on and the brother don't say nothing, I'm gonna be mad, man. Right? So it's gonna be confusion, man. Right? So read that, King.
Sirach 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look.
What the Lord say?
A man may be known by his look.
So part of having discernment is knowing how to know a man by his look, man. If a brother roll up on you and he mean mugging you, it ain't the time to joke around with that brother, man. You got to have some discernment, right? And discernment goes into common sense. It goes into being applying wisdom, right? Go on.
A man may be known by his look.
You may look at a brother, he might have had a rough week, man. You don't have to ask him what happened, man. The brother, he's walking in crying, man. What's going on with this guy? He's kind of distant. He's crying. You know, he doesn't call. He doesn't text. He shuts himself off. And I don't know what it is. No, brother, you better have some discernment, man. And what? Yeah, maybe this brother's going through something, man. Right? Go on.
And one that had understanding by his countenance.
One that hath understanding can be known by his countenance, man. Read.
When thou meetest him, a man's attire,
meaning what he wears,
and excessive laughter,
the words that come out of his mouth,
and gait,
how he walks,
shew what he is.
Does what?
Shew what he is.
It already shows what he is, man. A brother walk in with his head down, but he laughing. You got to mark that brother, man. It kind of shows that he's off. Man, he hang his head down, but he's grinning at brothers, right? That brother, you might want to watch out for that brother. Or a sister come around and she looking at this brother and this brother, then she courting this brother, then she call him Lord on one day, and then the same day she call another brother Lord, man. Now those brothers getting into it, man. And then she get up and peel off. And everybody's trying to figure out who's the Lord. So that's part of having discernment, you know, being able to recognize people's behavior and walk and read their spirit, because a brother may need help, man. A sister may need help. And if you can't recognize what they're coming with, then you may be no prophet to them, man. So you want to definitely make yourself a viable brother and a viable sister, being able to recognize people's spirits, to know what they may need before they ask or reach out, or, you know, have those conversations when they present themselves. I can get 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20. And that's exactly what Paul did to the church of Corinth, right? And that just goes to show you have to be a good shepherd, a good father, a good husband, a good brother. You got to know the state of your sheep and the men, you know, or women rather, right? Bring that up, King.
2 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 20. For I fear lest when I come, I shall not find you such as I would, and that I should be found unto you such as ye would not, lest there be debates.
Right. So when Paul came to this church, he set it straight. It wasn't following Apollos, you're not following, you know, this brother and that brother. We following Yahushua. So he said, lest I come back again, I should not find you as I would, with debates. Because this church was dealing with heavy debates, and it wasn't of one mind. Read on.
Lest there be debates, envying, wraths, strifes, backbitings, whisperings, swellings, tumult.
Right, the same spirit they had before Paul came to this church and set it straight. Read on.
And lest when I come again, my God will humble me among you, and that I shall bewail many which have sinned already, and have not repented of the uncleanness and fornication and lasciviousness which they have committed. Right,
and this is in what? 2 Corinthians, right? The end of it, the 12th chapter. Now let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 3. Because Paul had discernment on his church because he knew their spirits. You got to know certain brothers' spirits. Something come up missing, you can't be like, well, I don't know who it was. Well, maybe it was the brother that stole 7 times, man. Maybe it's the brother that rent was due 2 months ago, man. You got to have discernment on matters. Bring that up. 1 Corinthians 5 and 3.
1 Corinthians 5 verse 3. For verily, as absent in body, but present in spirit, have judged already.
Right, so Paul was absent from the church, but he judged already because he knew certain spirits. He could understand what was going on from afar off. Right, your so-called wife could call you and say, well, baby, they broke the vase. Now, to all your 3 kids, you already know which one did it, man. You already have it chalked up in your mind. It was Junior, man. Because Junior couldn't stay away from that vase, and he loved football. And the other ones, they like to watch TV. Right, Vidon?
As though I were present concerning him that have so done this deed.
Right, so Paul was absent, but yet he had discernment to judge a matter, right? Not even being there. And that goes with a high level of discernment. That's right. Let's go to Proverbs 1 and 1. It's like your Proverbs 1 and 1, man. And that's something, you know, that happens throughout time. Right? First, go to Hebrews. Before you go there, go to Hebrews 5 and 12. Discernment comes throughout time. It comes through experience. Right? It comes through encounters, conversations, bad times, good times. right? It really goes into having wisdom, right? And being mature in the truth. Hebrews 5:12.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. For when, for the time, ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
And you don't want to rush out there and teach because you saw somebody doing it on YouTube, right? That 20,000 views. You said, I want to do that. You just got you a Bible in the pocket or went out there and started teaching, huh? But you don't really know what the truth is about. And you still are struggling with particular sins, man. Right? So you don't want to go out there and rush and be a hypocrite. Right? Go on.
And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Strong meat are higher understandings of the Bible. Go on.
For every one that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
Read.
But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age.
That are full of age. It's not talking about 80 years old, 90 years old. What is full of age talking about? Experience. Mature in the truth, huh? You can be in the truth 40 years and be a fool. You can be in the truth 3 years and have more understanding than a brother that's been in this thing 40 years. The Lord said in the Wisdom of Solomon, the 4th chapter, that give me real quick, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 9, I believe. 8. Right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and 8.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 8. For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years, but wisdom is the gray hair unto men.
See that? Go on.
And unspotted life is old age.
You got an unspotted life and a blameless life. That's of old age in the eyes of the Most High, man. Right? Because an older man should acquire that, man, in the process of time, but you may get it by wisdom and understanding. The Lord said you have young men that have estimation among the elders, man. You got young men that can just go around a crowd of old men and they fit in. Right? They know when to talk, when not to talk. Right? They relate to them. You understand? There are certain men like that. Then you got men that just hang around young men all day, huh? Right? And they can't be around older men. If they get around older men, the older men don't want to talk to them, huh? They kind of push them to the side, huh? Or say, go get me that. Right? Go get me that out of there, huh? Just to get you out the conversation, huh? You know, brother's been through that, man. You got the kids' table. He might have that one, hey, look, he sit there, man. They're not really going to say nothing to that guy, man, because his mind is level-headed, man. So go back to Hebrews chapter 5.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 14.
Right.
But strong meat belongs to them,
right,
that are of full age,
that are mature in the truth, who have taken the milk, who have been weaned off the milk. You can't, you have to get weaned off the milk, because then you got to eat honey, man. And then bread. Babies can't eat, you can't be eating milk 24/7, man. 35-year-old man, all he drink is milk. Right? He don't eat nothing. He'll pass out, man. Right? So go on.
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Right. So this man has been tested. That's what it's saying. It says by reason of use. So he has put his senses to the test. So now he has developed an eye to understand and see spiritual things. Those are the senses. Right? We have 7 operations that the Most High gave us, man. Right? Carnally, eyes to see, but spiritually, eyes to see. Carnally, eyes to hear, but spiritually, ears to hear. A mouth to speak, but also a mouth to magnify the name of the Most High. Right? A touch to handle the word of life. You understand? An understanding heart and speech. Right? And smell. These are the things that the Most High gave us. And when you put your senses to the test, you grow and enhance those senses. They even tell you that your palate changes. Right? Brothers used to like candy and God knows what when you were 6, man. Brothers don't want no a damn Snickers bar every day, man. And a Twix, man. You develop things are an acquired taste, and it comes in age. Certain drinks are an acquired taste, man. Right? Certain vegetables are an acquired taste. And no, when you get that to that level, you become healthier and stronger, man. And that's how it is in the truth. So discernment comes through experience. It comes through trial and error, and it comes as you age and grow in the truth because you'll experience more situations, right? But you got to get calm. You can get the book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse number 9. Going into experience. Because if you don't have experience, you're not liable to teach, right? To exhortate, to direct, right? To move around. Hey, Paul didn't have a wife, but did not he say in 1 Corinthians, the 9th chapter, do we now have power to lead about a sister and a wife? Because they had the experience to. Bring that out, Kim.
Sirach chapter 34 and verse 9. A man that have traveled knoweth many things.
And that's spiritual too. Because you could travel from Sirach all the way to Job, all the way to Exodus. Just because you watch the breakdowns and write down all of the understanding doesn't mean that you're liable to teach that, man. Because it takes time for Yahweh Shah to set with you. It takes time for you to eat and for you to grow. Read on.
And he that have much experience will declare wisdom.
Read that again.
And he that have much experience will declare wisdom.
How can a man that never really traveled to do the work of the Lord tell you how to be an apostle, man? How can a brother that never really handled a marriage counsel or a situation give you advice, man? How could a man that hasn't been fell down and his back against the wall and come out of affliction and be back on fire tell you how to be on fire, man? So traveling teaches you, and it gives you experience in many things. Read on.
Verse 10. He that have no experience knoweth little, but he that have traveled is full of prudence.
Right.
When I travel, I saw many things, and I understand more than I can express.
Right. So Sirach, he been all over. He said, I traveled and I saw many things, and I understood more than I could express. Read on.
I was oft time in danger.
So
of
when
death.
you're literally traveling and doing things through experience, you have different arts. Right, Salaki. Read verse 12 again.
Verse 12. I was oft time in danger.
I was
of death.
oft times in danger of death. So when you're traveling and you're experiencing many things, you're going through trial and error. Right, read on.
Yet I was delivered because of these things.
Yet I was delivered because of these things. So that helps you to grow, to be able to give counsel. Right, jump to the book of Job, chapter 32, and verse number 4.
It's the book of Job, chapter 32, and verse number 4.
Because Elihu, one of Job's friends, he was the youngest out of all of them. Yet he had the most wisdom. Because they were giving him off counsel. Then Elihu had to come in. Bring that in the book of Job, chapter 32, and verse 4.
Now Elihu, who
Start at verse 3, Bob.
verse 3, also against his three friends was his wrath kindled, because they had found no answer, and yet had condemned Job. Now Elihu had waited till Job had spoken, because they were elder than he.
Right, he was in his place. He understood that those were elder men, so he waited to speak. You know?
When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, then his wrath was kindled. And Elihu, the son of Barachel the Buzite, answered and said, I am young, and ye are very old. Wherefore I was afraid, and durst not shew you my opinion.
Right, because he stayed in his place. He knew that he was younger and that those men were older. So he said, I'm not going to shoot my opinion. But the spirit overrides your age, man. You can't just be an 80-year-old man, a 60-year-old man. You're doing God knows what. Nobody's checking you. You're breaking down the scriptures wrong, but you say, well, I'm just younger. I'm not going to say anything. No, you got to stand up for righteousness, man. This man had the spirit of discernment, so his spirit was going to express what was going on. Read on.
I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding.
Right, you could be like Jeremiah, a youth, but then have the spirit of discernment and prophecy above men that are older than you. Right? Look at Yahweh Shah teaching in the temple, 12 years old, confounding everybody, the doctors and the elders, men learning from you. So it doesn't matter your age, it's the spirit that the Most High put in you to direct and give you wisdom. That's right. And let's go to Proverbs chapter 1 and 1. Right? Proverbs chapter. So it comes, discernment comes through experience, it comes through prayer, it comes through fasting. And the Lord said prayer is good with fasting, right? Right? So it's a beautiful gift to have, and it'll save your life, man. Saves your life, man. So bring that up.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 1. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to receive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity.
To do what? Read 3 again.
To receive the instruction of wisdom.
So brothers have to have wisdom.
Justice.
What is justice? Okay, but yet equity's already used. So what is justice? It's a balance, right?
Doing the right thing.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing, but
enforcing righteousness, enforcing that balance.
and right. So what justice is enforcing the law. right? It's enforcing the law, the statutes, and the commandments when things are unbalanced or when things are off and when things are wicked. It's your job to have discernment to know what law is appropriate for that situation. And that comes with discernment, right? You can't, if a brother, we use the example of stealing, if a brother has stolen 30 times from every brother in the congregation, and we just keep, the brother, he could just come and he could just come in my house and stay there. I'll be a fool, huh? Justice says, well, hold on. The law says in Exodus chapter 22, if you steal, here's the repercussions behind it, huh? So discernment also teaches you when to enforce justice and what's too much and what's too little, huh? Because you might be heavy-handed, huh? In a situation where you don't have to be heavy-handed, right? Imagine your surgeon didn't have discernment. And when it was time to give you a Band-Aid, he amputated your arm. I'm just making a business decision, right? I'm just making a business decision. And he amputates your arm. All it needed was stitches, brother. Or imagine, you needed an amputation. He just gave you a Band-Aid. No discernment, huh? Matters of life and death. So it's all about justice, right? You got a point?
I know a Jake in the world, he had got bit by a brown recluse, a spider.
Right.
And when he went to the hospital, because it puffed up into a boil, they treated it like a boil.
Wow.
So they just drained out the that pus, but then it just kept getting worse. He ended up having to get skin graft and all sorts of other stuff because they mismanaged.
Wow. You see that? See that? So, and that goes into counsel too. When you're providing counsel to somebody, you better have some discernment, huh? Right? Because if you don't have no discernment, man, you got not that this is a situation right now, but a woman who's getting beat up, right, by her husband, man. You just wait it out, sister. Just wait it out. His arm will get weak, right? Don't just wait it out, sister. He gets tired too. We all in the flesh, right? The Lord said the weary, right? No, brother, that's no discernment, huh? That's wicked discernment. Right? So you want to, through experience, hold on, well, look, brother, sister, you should do this. You should do this, and you should do that. Right? Here's the law, here's the scripture, here's the commandment. Ain't no wait until he get damn weary, man. Right? So bring that until he pass out, man, with a beard. Right? Proverbs chapter 1 and 2. And people will tell the woman that, man. It's okay, it's all right, it's all right. It's all right, sister. You can change him. You can change him, sister. Right? He just had a bad day at work. She calling her mother tell her, it's okay. Right? You just sit there. And it be situations in real life when it be mothers with their daughters, and it be some random dude in the house that she dealing with, and he be doing God knows what with the daughter, man, in the middle of the night. And then she tell her mother, and then you know what the mother do? Get mad. Right? You trying to take my man. Right? Or try to fight her daughter, or cause all manner of confusion, man, because this guy's maybe paying her rent, paying the bills. She's living good, man. So the hell with everything else. So that discernment is heavy, man. Right? So read on, King. Read on 3 again. To receive what?
To receive the instruction of wisdom.
The instruction of wisdom. The instruction is what? Guidance. So when having discernment is knowing how to guide someone, right, to the right path, to provide a detailed plan on what to do. That's what instructions are. Go on.
Justice.
We covered justice.
And judgment.
Judgment is what? Decision making according to the law. That's judgment. Knowing when to move, when not to move, and how to move. Like Rehoboam. What did they tell Rehoboam? They told Rehoboam, tell him that you please the people, paraphrasing it greatly, right? Right? I'll be your servant. What did Rehoboam do? He cussed him out, man. And was churlish and leaned on him because he took counsel from young men. He didn't have any discernment. Right? So read on. That's what judgment is. Go on.
And equity.
And what?
And equity.
Equity is knowing how to restore the wrongs. Like Mathamika said, to provide a balance when things are out of balance. Right? Go on.
To give subtlety to the simple.
To give subtlety to the simple. Can we look that word up? Subtlety to the simple. Go on.
To the young man, knowledge and discretion.
Knowledge and discretion. We want to cover subtlety and discretion. This is fundamental right here, man. part of discernment goes into discretion, right? Discretion goes into moderation. See that this is subtlety, prudence, shrewdness, or craftiness on the right hand side, man. Right now, let's go to try to pull up discretion. Come on. Now discretion, it says purpose, discretion, device, plot. It's not a good definition, right? Can I take this in? Right, let me pull this up. Okay, here's discretion. The quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense or revealing private information. So you want to have discretion in the truth too, man. Right? Meaning know how to control yourself, know when to move again in the spirit, when it's time to get on somebody, when it's time to show mercy. Right? That's a man of discernment, man. Your child spilled the milk. It ain't time to punch him in the mouth, man. They just woke up and spilled milk out of a juicy cup. You run across the room and spear them. Right? Talking about, oh, you're wicked, you're going off. Right? I'm going to show you about what the Lord did to Judas. Right? You want to be like Judas? Brother, there's no discernment, man. So you want to know when to show mercy and when to exhibit the appropriate measures that, when a situation presents itself, man. You got it. Come on. You can go to Nehemiah chapter 6 and verse number 10. Now, Nehemiah, through the Spirit, used a high level of discernment, man. When you go to this context, let's go to the book of Nehemiah chapter 6 and verse number 10.
Nehemiah chapter 6, verse 10. Afterward I came unto the house of Shemaiah, the son of Delilah, the son of Mehetabeel, who was shut up. And he said, let us meet together in the house of God within the temple, and let us shut the doors of the temple, for they will come to slay thee.
Right, so for they will come to slay thee. So this man was shook, man. He said, you know what, we got to hide. We got to get the hell out of here, man. They're trying to kill us. Let's go hide in his house before they slay us. You know?
Yea, in the night will they come to slay thee.
And that spirit could have put a spirit on Nehemiah, man. To have Nehemiah to be shook, Nehemiah to be scared. But let's see the mentality of Nehemiah. Nehemiah just wasn't 1,000 feet tall, man. With 12,000 spears in his back pocket. He had discernment. Read on.
And I said, should such a man as I flee?
Yeah, he was bold, but it was more discernment than being bold. Because sometimes you could perceive that somebody's lying. Right. You could perceive that somebody's bluffing. Right? A brother could come out of nowhere, man. You better leave. Or you better leave and stop teaching before I do something. He done packed up his books, man. He done hopped in his car. He done swerved off. Then the brother pulled out a banana, man. Right? Read on.
And who is there that being as I am would go into the temple to save his life?
Right, to save his life. Man, what are you talking about? You're talking madness right now. I'm not going nowhere. Read on.
I will not go in. And lo, I perceive.
I do what?
And lo, I perceive.
And lo, I perceive. Meaning he has discernment. Read on.
That the Most High had not sent him.
Because if he perceived that the Most High sent him, he probably would have left, man. It's not that Nehemiah just was bulletproof, man. He had discernment. Sometimes you know when to leave and pack up. Sometimes you know when not to, man. Because it could be fire raining down, or God knows what a damn fire, right? In the building, doors are being locked. You don't want to be over righteous. Hey, brother, get out of there, man. We can burn alive. The Lord has saved me. You just prop the doors don't lock. The fire is. You can't be a fool.
Clothes on fire.
Clothes on fire. No, the Lord will put it out. Me shacking a Bendigo. You still shaking that hand, man. You gotta have discernment, right? Read verse 12.
And lo, I perceived that the Most High had not sent them, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me. For Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him.
Right, you got to know when certain people put somebody up to no good. You got to know when certain things are not adding up. You got to be like, you know what? This doesn't make any sense, man. You know what? Through the Spirit, I can perceive that this is not right. This is another level of discernment, counseling. Because you could counsel somebody and not have discernment in what you counsel. You could cause somebody to kill themselves, man. You could cause a marriage not to prosper. You could cause a brother to fall out the truth. It's so much can happen by not using discernment and counsel. Let's go to Job chapter 8 and verse 1. Now, this is bad counsel. Because you got to understand, Job is a parable, but this physically happened. And this is a conversation going back and forth between Job and his friends.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8, verse 1. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said,
This is the counsel, or this is what Bildad is saying to Job.
How long wilt thou speak these things? And how long shall the words of thy mouth be like a strong wind?
Right, so he getting on it. Read on.
Doth God pervert judgment?
And you could be right in a sense, but you could overdo it sometimes. You know, a brother may need chastening, but you do the most. You know, you cussing them out, you making them feel bad, your wife, your children are going to leave, the Lord hates you. You could break a brother down when you don't even need to do all of that. Read on.
Or doth the Almighty pervert justice?
This is what Bildad said. Read verse 4.
If thy children have sinned.
Now, didn't Job's children? What happened to Job's children? They died. And this is what he's saying. If thy children have sinned, read.
If thy children have sinned against him, and he have cast them away,
Meaning he has killed them.
For their transgression. If thou wouldest seek unto God betimes, and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou were pure and upright.
He said, Job, if you was really pure and upright, read.
Surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous.
He said, man, look, your children deserve to die. If you was really righteous, and you was really all of this, then this would have never happened to you. Imagine a brother saying that your kids just died, and you're consoling with this man, and this man says, read verse 5 again.
If thou wouldest seek unto God,
I mean, if you would have really seeked unto God bedtimes, and you was on fire like you think you was, and so perfect like you think you was,
and make thy supplication to the Almighty, if thou were pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee, and make the habitation of thy righteousness prosperous. Though thy beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase.
And don't nobody want to hear that when their children died, man. When their house got overthrown. That's not good counsel. He didn't lead them up to tell them that the Most High is with you. Just pray, I'll mourn with you. He didn't have discretion, man. He just started getting on them, which furthered the affliction and vexation of spirit. God. And let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 20. Right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 20. So this is a thing that brothers must have, man. Right? 1 Samuel, let's go to chapter 20 and verse 7.
1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse 7.
No, Salaki, go to 1 Samuel 21. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 21 and verse 2. Then we're going to jump down.
1 Samuel chapter 21 verse 2. And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, the king have commanded me a business, and have said unto me, let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee.
Right? So this is David on the Sabbath getting bread from the priest. Right? Go on.
And what I have commanded thee, and I have appointed my servants to such and such a place.
Because the priest asked him, what are you doing here by yourself, man? He said, well, look, here's the plan, right? Go on.
Now, therefore, what is under thine hand?
He said, what do you have to eat?
Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present.
Whatever you have, let me eat it. I was out in the wilderness for 3 days, man. Go on.
And the priest answered David and said, there is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hollow bread if the young men have kept themselves at least from women.
He said, I have holy bread, the show bread. Now jump to verse 7.
Verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite.
And what?
An Edomite.
Right?
The chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
Is that, well, it's 2 things I want to touch on. Right? Is it wise to have an Edomite be your chiefest herdsman? What did Job say about Esau and him trying to be a herdsman, man? Job said, go to Job chapter 30 real quick. Why would you have Esau be your chiefest herdman? And we're people of sheep, man. We deal with the flock and oxen and bullocks. But Saul didn't have any discernment, man. He set Esau up as his right-hand man. Right? The Maccabees did that, man. Not Judas, Simon, and Jonathan, but John Hyrcanus and his sons, man. Alexander, Janaeus, Aristobulus. They set up John Hyrcanus II, set up Antipater, man. I believe he was the father of King Herod. And that's how the Herods came and took over. Because one brother said, I want Antipater the Idumean to be in my army. Then all of the Herods came and became the kings of Judah, man. That's all it takes. One false move, man. All right, so bring that up, King. What I call?
Job 30, verse 1.
Hey, you can start at 1. Then we're going to go back to 1 Samuel 21.
This is the book of Job, chapter 30 and verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
Right? Who's younger than us? Esau. How spiritually? We're the firstborn. Go on.
Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock.
So Job said he don't even want Esau around his dogs, man. Why? We know why. Right. So go back. We know why. We don't have to do an in-depth breakdown and pull up the pictures and the stats. Right? We know the deal, man. So Job had discernment. He didn't have to ask Esau, are you going to lay down with my beast? If I put you with this beast, what are you going to do? Right? What's your moves? Where's your head at? He didn't have to interview him, man. One Edomite after the other, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but yet I find not. One Edomite among 1,000 have I found, man. Where's it at in the scriptures, man? Well, that's what Saul found. Saul found one. Go to 1 Samuel 21 and 7 again.
1 Samuel chapter 21, verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day,
right?
Detained before the Lord.
Detained before the Lord.
And his name was Doeg, an Edomite.
And what?
An Edomite.
Read.
The chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul.
So Saul set this man up, man, to be one of his top guys. Now go to 1 Samuel chapter 22. Right? Go to 1 Samuel 22 and 20. So David was there, but there's no conversation between David and Doeg. But David peeped, for lack of better terms, that Doeg was there, man. So let's see that. 1 Samuel chapter 22 and start at 20.
1 Samuel 22 and verse 20.
So King Saul had Doeg the Edomite do what? Slay the priest. Right? Go on.
And one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David.
So one of these Levites escaped to David. Go on.
And Abiathar shoot David that Saul had slain the Lord's priest.
Wicked. And he used the Edomite to do it. Go on.
And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day.
I did what?
I knew it that day.
When what?
When Doeg, the Edomite, was there, that he would surely tell Saul.
So that's discernment right there. You got a peep game, huh? They call it what? Reading the room. Reading the room. There's certain things you say and certain things you don't say depending on who's around, huh?
Right.
Right? That's David said. Read that again, 1 Samuel 22 and 22.
1 Samuel 22 and 22. And David said unto Abiathar, I knew it that day.
I knew it, man. When he saw him, he said, damn, man, I already know Esau gonna say something, man. You already know, man. You might be at the so-called workplace, man. A brother come up and he asks about your fringes. You think you alone. Then an Edomite, that one Edomite walk by, man. You're like, God damn. I already know what's going to happen. It may not be now, but it'll be next week, man. Right? Next thing you know, you get called to HR. You're in the office, and that Edomite is there, man. You already knew it, man. Hey, this Edomite at the I told a brother this, man. An Edomite at the plantation asked about my fringes, man. What are those? Are you an Israelite? Right? Trying to see what's going on, man. And I said, look, man, I don't want to go to HR and tell them you was talking about religion, right? And I don't want to go and tell them I was talking about religion. And he kind of got quiet, man. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, because you know these Edomites are trying to get you jammed up, man. Yeah, I'm a black Hebrew Israelite. Here's the ADL list. Let me show you the SP, the Southern Poverty Law Center. Here's Watchman for Israel, Maryland. We're a hate group, right? You see that, Esau? What is Esau going to do with that, man?
Right.
Get you arrested, man. You go outside, it's the FBI there, man. They towing your car, man. And you going somewhere where you won't return. Right? So David knew it in that day when Doeg the Edomite was there, that what?
That he would surely tell Saul.
That what?
That he would surely tell Saul.
Read.
I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house.
I have that. Put your whole father's house in danger, man. Damn. Doeg the Edomite. I should have held my tongue. Go on.
Verse 23. Abide thou with me. Fear not. For he that seeketh my life seeketh thy life. But with me thou shalt be in safeguard.
So David said, I got you. Don't worry about it. David was a guy, man. He was that man. Right? Through the spirit of the Most High. But he said, hey, look, I knew when Doeg the Edomite was there, it was going to go down. right? So again, you got to mind your words, man. You got to read the room. You got to have discernment. You have to have discretion. Go to real quick, one more, Sirach chapter 20 and 5, right? All of this is discernment, man. And again, it comes through experience and through prayer and through fasting, right? And again, if you're on councils, we've been on councils through the Spirit. Brothers in here have done councils, man. And that teaches you a lot, right? So bring that up.
Sirach chapter 20, verse 5. There is one that keepeth silence and is found wise.
Why? Because he knows when to talk, when not to talk, right? He knows when, okay, look, people are talking, I'm going to just hold my tongue. Go on.
And another, by much babbling, becometh hate.
Some brothers don't have no sense of time and judgment. The Lord said in Ecclesiastes 8 and 5, a wise man's heart discerneth the time and judgment, man. It's a time to speak, it's a time not to speak, man. Here you are at the funeral, right, of your brother's son that passed, man. Talking about the big game, man. The sports, the stats. You're showing them highlights, man. And you just keep talking about fantasy football, man. Right, go on.
Verse 6. Some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer.
Some brothers hold their tongue because they don't have the answer. Some brothers don't have the answer, still open their mouth. Right? No, brother, that's wrong. No. I'm gonna just give it a shot. Well, brother, hold on, brother. Right? You don't want to be known for just giving a shot. And you just trying to figure out the answer, man. Just wait, brother. Go on.
And some keepeth silence, knowing his time.
Knowing what?
Knowing his time.
Like David knew. He said, I knew when he was there. Here's the right time to speak. You kind of wait, right? This precept might come out. You got this precept in the back. Then right on time, a scripture come out and the whole room, oh wow. That's a good point. That's a good point. Then the room get quiet, man. They want to hear more you gotta say. And then you kind of leave, man. Right? And then you come back, and then that's discernment. So go on.
Verse 7. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity.
Right?
But a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
So you got to know how to regard time. Right? That's part of having discernment. Reading the room, regarding time, paying attention to people's behavior, looking at their body language, going off of the brother's past that he may have, man. Certain experiences you have with him and know how to deal with them going forward. That's all discernment, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 16 and verse number 15. So like we keep saying, man, discernment, if you don't have it, it can get you killed in the wrong moments, man. Here you are getting pulled over by the police in the middle of the night, and you just got a hell of a lot to say. How Esau gonna go into captivity, man. You take your staff at, you start shaking it out the window. Or next thing you know, you locked up, man. Bring that up, Kim.
1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 15. And Saul's servant said unto him.
2 Samuel 16 and 15.
2 Samuel 16 and verse 15. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him.
Right. So you understand that Absalom, right? He was wicked. He was going off. He had Ahithophel, right? He's a wise counselor. Right, read on.
And it came to pass when Hushai the Archite, David's friend, was come unto Absalom, that Hushai said unto Absalom, God save the king.
Now he didn't really mean that, man.
Right.
He just wanted to sneak inside of the council to get the intel that he could bring it back right to the anointed David. Read on.
God save the king. And Absalom said to Hushai, is this thy kindness to thy friend?
Right, like he kind of, is that kindness to thy friend? I thought you were David. Read on.
Why wentest thou not with thy friend?
Right, what are you doing over here? Read on.
And Hushai said unto Absalom, nay, but whom the Lord and his people and all the men of Israel choose, his will I be, and with him will I abide.
Right, I'm not with David. Whoever all of Israel chooses to follow, that's who I'm gonna follow. Read on.
And again, whom should I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son, as I have served in thy father's presence? So will I be in thy presence.
Right, meaning he just came, right? He overthrew Absalom. Now jump to 2 Samuel 17 and 5.
2 Samuel 17 verse 5. Then said Absalom, call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he said.
Right, I want to see what he said. I heard Absalom. So like I heard Ahithophel. Now I want to hear Hushai's counsel. Read on.
Verse 6. And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel have spoken after this manner.
Right, meaning my counsel have spoken these words.
Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak thou.
Right now he has the opportunity to overthrow the council. So Hushai through the spirit, right, he's about to overthrow it. Read on.
And Hushai said unto Absalom, the counsel that Ahithophel have given is not good.
Is what?
Is not good.
It's not good, man. And the brother could kind of sneak in the council. This was on the right-hand side, but on the left-hand side, man. You know what? That don't make sense. You know what? We shouldn't go out there. We should just stay home and not go to camp. Don't your feet hurt? Don't your back ache? Right? Don't you got didn't you see your wife? You didn't see your wife last weekend, man. And the brother could come in with wicked counsel and overthrow the whole congregation. Read on.
Is not good at this time. For said Hushai, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they being mighty men, and they being chafed in their minds, as a bear robbed of her whelps in the field. And thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. So
he's giving him counsel that's overthrowing, right, the other counsel that was given. Now go to 2 Samuel chapter 17 and 15. Now after he gets the counsel, right, goes to Absalom, right, overthrows Ahithophel, he brings it back to David. 2 Samuel 17 and 15.
2 Samuel 17 verse 15. Then said Hushai unto Zadok and to Abiathar the priest, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled.
Right.
Now therefore sing quickly and tell David, saying, lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up and all the people that are with them.
So you need a brother like that on your team, huh? You need a brother that has discernment, that can help you stay alive, that can move with you, be crafty on the right-hand side, like you can, man. You don't want to be the wise brother and you hang around a bunch of fools. Brothers that give false advice, false counsel. They don't know how to move light on their feet. They don't know how to move when their back is against the wall. They don't know how to be prudent, right? David, right, in the minute that he moved around like Hushai, gave him intel back that essentially saved his life, man. So you want to have that through the spirit also.
Con, just to let me back, let's go to 2 Peter or 2 Peter 4 and verse 1. Or start at verse 3. Right? It's important to have discernment, man. Because once you have those itching ears, man, counsel goes out the window. You start to think about whatever you want, right? But if you have sound men around you, so like Timothy, 2 Timothy, like 2 Timothy 4 and 3, right? Once you have those itching ears, man, counsel goes out the window and you do whatever you please. Perfect example, you know, Saul with Doeg, man. The priests were getting slain and overthrown, man. Let's bring it up.
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears.
And that's what the brother was just reading. You seeking to go get counsel from somebody, but they're going to tell you the wrong thing to overthrow you, right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 32 and start at verse 16. Right? That's why the Lord said it's a time to speak and a time to keep silence, loosely paraphrasing. Sometimes you got to sit there and observe that mannerisms and actions of people to see if that's the way that you should go. Because the Lord tells you not to go on the way that you may fall. If the Lord sent somebody into you, it'll be known unto you.
Sirach chapter 32 and verse 16. They that fear the Lord shall find judgment and shall kindle justice as a light.
Right.
A simple man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will.
Right, and a sinful man is going to find an excuse to do as he please. Like I'll go to Naquam and Naquam will tell me something. Then the next thing I'll go to Araya and I'll hear something completely different because I manipulated to hear the things that I wanted to hear. Right, keep going, King.
Verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear.
Right, a man of counsel will be considerate. What's he going to do? He's going to get wise counsel from elders, from brothers who've been in that experience, brothers who understand and know the scriptures, brothers who move in the spirit of the Lord. Right, read that one more time, King.
Verse 18. A man of counsel will be considerate, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear, even when of himself he have done without counsel.
Right, and that's a perfect example. When Samuel came to Saul, he seen all the things that he'd done. Right, he didn't destroy Doeg. Right, that was when he felt remorseful because it got brought to light. right? There's no fear of a sinful and unreproved man. That's why it's important to have discernment and make sure you understand who you're getting counsel from.
God. And let's go to Galatians chapter 2 and verse, you can start at 1. Galatians 2 and 1.
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 2, and verse number 1.
Right?
Then 14 years after I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas, and took Titus with me also.
Right?
And I went up by revelation, and communicated unto them that gospel which I preach among the Gentiles, but privately to them which were of reputation, lest by any means I should run or had run in vain.
And that's one level of discernment, right? Know when to bring certain matters to certain people. He said, I have to talk to the people of reputation. Peter, John, James, about the gospel. Because if I told everybody else, they wouldn't be on the level to recognize that the Most High was dealing with me, huh? And to understand that the Most High sent me, right? Read on.
Verse 3. But neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised.
Right?
And that because of false brethren unawares brought in.
False brethren unawares brought in.
Who came in privily to spy out our liberty, which we have in Hamashiach Yahushua, that they might bring us into bondage.
So you had men that were false brethren that came in that wanted to bring them back to the law. Bring them back to say, you don't need Yahushua. You don't need the sacrifice. You don't need the blood. Go on.
Verse 5. To whom we gave place by subjection. No, not for an hour.
To whom what?
To whom we gave place by subjection. No, not for an hour.
Right.
That the truth of the gospel might continue with you.
So Paul was able to have discernment and recognize false brethren, man. Just like that, man. He said, no, not for an hour. A lot of brothers, brother be around 10 years, man. I don't know, something wrong with this brother, man. Then the 11th year, he gets you, right? Paul perceived it day one, man. Is that my man? Brothers be questioning brothers, man. Something ain't right about this brother, man. I can't quite put my finger on it, man. Right? I don't know. And certain brothers could just tell you straight up, hey, look, that brother ain't right, man. Brother, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Then 6 months later, he dealing with your woman, man. I tried to tell you, I tried to tell you. Because that brother can see it in the spirit, man. He saw that brother. He sees stuff that you may not see, man. And brothers, they call it peeping game, man. Brothers can recognize what's going on, man. And receive brothers' spirits. And brothers can look at your spirit and know what kind of spirit you're moving in. That's a gift that we have. Esau and these nations don't have that, man. They don't know what's going on. Right? They literally are on a low level. This is what makes us above our nation, man. We are in tune with spiritual things. Having discernment is spiritual. It's a gift, man. You can't teach somebody that. You gotta just have it, man. And the Most High gotta give it to you. Read 5 again.
Verse 5. To whom we gave place by subjection. No, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you.
Right?
But of these who seem to be somewhat whatsoever they were, it maketh no matter to me.
Paul said, I didn't give a hell about who these people was, man. It don't matter to me. They ain't nobody. We're gonna keep doing the work. Go on.
The Most High accepteth no man's person, for they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me.
Right, man. And these guys had a council, man. They thought they was going to stop the work that we was doing, but it didn't stop a damn thing, man. It added nothing to me. He perceived that it was a council against him, man. Brothers may not perceive is that you walk in a room, it's 5 brothers talking. Then they stop talking when you come around. Then one brother go get the chips. Another brother, he got a phone call out of nowhere. Another brother go get something from the car. My brother keep reaching in his pocket, man. He talking to you, keep reaching in his pocket, man. Remember we taught on Greenmount and 33rd, man. Brothers remember that boy thing, right? She kept, I can't remember what she said. Oh, y'all messing up my money. Y'all messing up my money, man. Yeah, we was messing up your money, man. Right? You out there pushing God knows what to our people. So she come up the count. She was the leader too. She was about 5'6", 280, 230 to 280. Solid, right? Solid, stocky, strong. So she comes up and she had about 5 men with her, man. And they came, brothers remember that, man. Then they came up and she started reaching in her pocket, man. Then we asked her, what's in your pocket? What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to give us? Like the brother said, pull out a damn banana, man. Right. We didn't think it was a banana in her pocket, man. Right. But guess what? like we always say at camp, most times it's all discernment. If somebody was going to do something, they going to do it.
Right.
They're not going to wait around to do it, man. When somebody really do something, they're going to do it. But that's discernment. You got to have a judgment call. Usually spotting them over. Sometimes people dead serious, man. And the apostles had to look, we had to go to Iconium. We got stoned in Derby. Look, we going to Lystra, man. But that's just a judgment call. It's discernment, right? What you got?
Come on, let's go to 1 Corinthians 12 and verse 1. And that's why the Most High is so perfect in all his ways. He set certain brothers around each other to be able to have different gifts and administrations to help the ministry and to keep brothers safe as well, right? You can read that and then you can jump to verse number, verse number 10.
1 Corinthians 12, verse 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant.
Yeah, jump to verse 10. Come on.
Verse 10. To another, the working of miracles.
Right, so these are the gifts that were given out into the churches, right? One who can work miracles, right? Can bring somebody from having a broken leg, now their leg healed the next day, right?
To another, prophecy.
Right.
To another, discerning of spirits.
To what?
To another, discerning of spirits.
And those are gifts that brothers has and they don't even realize, man. You can meet a brother and be like, yeah, this brother, he's shicey. Or this brother got a hate spirit, man. That's the gift that the Lord has given unto you to help the ministry, to help build the nation up, right? You can call a bluff, right? You don't have to wait until that two of spades come out to call it a two of spades. You know a spade when a spade is there, man. Right? We can continue on with it.
To another, diverse kinds of tongues.
Right? Brothers can speak different languages.
To another, the interpretation of tongues.
Somebody who can understand it, man. So all these gifts profit the ministry, man. And that discerning of spirits is key, right? That discerning of spirits will definitely save brothers' lives and sisters' lives in these last days, right? What they call it, for sisters, they call it women intuition, right? They know something's not right, right? I know something bad is going to happen, right? And lo and behold, right, all hell breaks loose. And brother, they say, trust in your gut, right? I had a gut feeling this was going to happen. That's the spirit of the Lord coming into you, telling you that a situation is not profitable to you.
Come on. Let me get the book of Acts, right? Chapter 14 and verse number 9. Now, this is an example of men not having any type of discernment, man. Because some people just have no discernment at all. Let's go to Acts chapter 14 and verse number 9.
That's the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 9. The same heard Paul speak, who steadfastly beholding him, and perceiving that he had faith to be healed, said with a loud voice, stand upright on thy feet. And he leaped and walked.
Right, and that's the spirit of Yahushua, not the spirit of Paul. We cannot do anything of ourselves. Everything is of the Lord. Read on.
And when the people saw that Paul had done,
when the people saw what Paul had done, not what Yahushua had done. And a lot of people, they see certain things that brothers do, teach mighty, or go over the precepts, have a high level of discernment, go into counsel, and they think that this brother is doing it, and not the spirit of Yahushua resting on. And they make idols of men. Read on.
Saying in the speech of Lysonia, the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men.
So these what these fools said, man. The gods have came down. Right now they bowing down to Paul. They looking at Paul, putting him on a pedestal, thinking that Paul is some type of angel or something. Right, read that again.
And when the people saw that Paul had done, they lifted up their voices, saying in the speeches of Lysonia, the gods are come down.
Now you gotta paint the picture. Imagine a group of people outside, maybe 30 men, maybe 50, maybe 150. We don't know how many men were actually out there, and they're all saying it at the same time, praising Paul. Read on.
The gods are come down to us in the likeness of men.
And people do that on a low level, man. Here comes this elder. Then everybody moving out the way, right? And the elder come in the door. They put a spirit on men, man. You can't be doing that, man. Anybody could fall out the truth. Anybody could go off. Anybody could sin. Read on.
And they called Barnabas Jupiter.
What did they call him?
And they called Barnabas Jupiter.
Right, giving them these Greek god names, man. Putting them on a pen. Here comes Jupiter himself. Read on.
And Paul Mercurius, because he was the chief speaker.
Right, read on.
Then the priest of Jupiter, which was before their city, brought oxen and garlands unto the gates, and would have done sacrifice with the people. which when the apostles Barnabas and Paul heard of,
When they heard of this folly,
they rent their clothes.
no, they stood up on a pedestal.
They rent their clothes.
Like a lot of people, they love to be put on pedestals. They love compliments. They love when people say, "Man, you brought it out. You was mighty. Yeah, I was studying, man, 4 hours last week. I'm glad you noticed." A lot of people like love the renownness of man, man, and carnalness, man. Right? But they rent their clothes because they wasn't giving praise to the Most High by Shem Yahushua. Read on.
And ran in among the people, crying out and saying, "Sirs, why do ye these things?"
Right? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Read on.
We also are men of like passions with you.
Right? We're just like you. Right? We could break our bones. We could get scraped. Right? We could suffer all type of temptations. Read.
And preach unto you that ye should turn from these vanities unto the living God, which made heaven and earth and the sea and all things that are therein.
Right? So a lot of men don't have discernment. They'll put men as idols. Right? Somebody could be an elder or a so-called an apostle, and they'll give them all their money. I wanted to give alms. Here's $12,000. Just because you seen a brother on one YouTube live, right, that blew up and went viral, now you're just giving a brother all your money. You can't make men idols in this truth, man. We all could be put to death. We all could suffer temptations. And you got to have the spirit of Paul renting your garments and understanding that these men, we're trying to turn you away from idols and turn you back to the living God. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
God. Quick precept to let me back on that. Sirach 4:22, Marcus Shaw.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 22. Accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall.
Right, so you can't let the reverence of man cause you to fall. Right, you want to praise a brother so much, now you into idolatry. Right, you committing the first sin. Right, you making that man Yahweh for no reason. Right, just because that brother brought out precepts that came from the Lord. Right, so don't let the reverence of man. Now you're supposed to honor the hoary heads and the elders who labor, but don't set them on pedestals like the brother was reading. Right, calling brothers Greek gods, they can call them my master teacher, my father who I love so much, above the most high, whatever you may say. Don't let that reverence cause you to fall.
Right. That's right. Oh, go ahead, King.
I was gonna say people in the world make murals of like their favorite athletes.
Yeah. Or they make a picture of their favorite teacher in Israel and put it on a wall somewhere. That is off, man. Fat heads, man. No fat heads of Thawam. Reading mighty, man. Above your mattress, man. Right, you got a raya on your headboard, and then you got the wall on the damn other side of the wall, man. Then you open up your closet, and Jezreel is there, right? And it has this quote right there with the sword in his hand that the brother pulled from Maccabees. Man. Go take this sword, man. It got the speech bubble, right? You got all, and then you got a thought bubble with Ainan in your kitchen. You got the thought, that's the 3 thought bubbles. Right, all types of madness going on, man. No fat heads of men of the Lord, man. Trophies, best Israelite of the year award, right? Who was the top Israelite of the year? That's wicked, man. Then you got the guy sitting down in the crowd. They open up the thing, and somebody don't get selected. Yeah, seat fillers, man. MVP of Israel this year. Stats. How many precepts they brought out per Sabbath? You got damn stats, man. Precepts per Sabbath. Damn. Yeah, cap stats. Cap metrics. Precepts per Sabbath. Hours stood on their feet. Minutes on the line. Yeah, minutes on the line. Demons dealt with. That's wicked, man. That brother got hella stats, man.
Overtime caps.
Yeah, overtime caps, man. He dealt with 5 demons per hour, man. Yeah, the goat, man. The goat of Israel. Hey, we would say Jay can do it, man. I'm led to believe Jay can do it, man. #1 cap in Israel. Then he all get up, from the crowd, and he bring his home. That's wicked, man. Right? So, that's discernment, man. That goes into discernment. And also, we want to touch on brotherhood too, man. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 2. Right? 2 and 17. If we didn't have brothers, God knows where we'll be, man. And when you first come to the truth, you don't expect to have brothers around you, man. You kind of think you're the only Israelite in your area. You're the only brother in your city that's in the truth. Right? Then you don't meet nobody, man. Then the Most High have brothers come around you, man. Or bring you around brothers. 1 Peter 2 and 17.
1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 17. Honor all men. Love the brotherhood.
Do what?
Love the brotherhood.
Do my own thing.
Love the brotherhood.
Right?
Fear God. Honor the king.
So the Lord said, love the brotherhood. That's the commandment, huh? Right? Not despise the brotherhood. They call them individualites, keyboard warriors. They got that fire emoji on recently used, right? And a strong arm and the two swords, man. Right? With the two that cross each other, man. And that finger, like brothers talking about the finger that point when they put their precepts online. They got the other one that point when it's done, right? And they make sure, yeah, that's off, man. So you're supposed to love the brotherhood, man. Right? Go to Ecclesiastes 4 and 9 real quick. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and 9. Yeah, but I don't hang around Israelites, man. I do my own thing. Y'all camps are wicked. Congregations are wicked. It's just me and my wife and my nephew. Right? Bring that up. Verse Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 9.
Right.
Two are better than one.
But the Lord say,
Two are better than one.
yeah, two are better than one, man. Right? Read on.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Right?
For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up.
And you might fall, because the Lord, and you will fall. Right. The Lord said, a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again. Who helps you rise up again at times? Your brother, man. Ultimately, it's Yahweh, Bashmi, but the Most High use your brother to help you rise up at times, man. You may use a dream to help you rise up, an angel to help you rise up, self-examination to help you rise up, the spirit of zeal to help you rise up. There is always an extension being used to lift you up off the ground, man. And oftentimes it's your brother. It could be spiritual, it could be physical, man. Your car could break down, right? You just alone, man. I'm waiting on what they call the AAA, right? They get there in 5 hours. Hey, your brother be there in 5 minutes, right? You might be dealing with a situation, and it's no thing to call a brother, man. You know, text the brother. You know, kick it with the brothers. Brothers do a lot for brothers, man. Brothers celebrate with brothers when they have certain accolades, man. Brothers are there when brothers are down through the spirit. You know, so brothers are supposed to be there for one another, man. We're a nation built off of brotherhood. That's the first commandment, man. One more. Go to 1 John, real quick, 3 and 11. Real quick precept. 1 John chapter 3 and 11.
It's the book of 1 John chapter 3 and verse 11. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another.
Right?
Not as Cain, who was of the wicked.
Right? Cain was of Satan.
And slew his brother.
So he loved his brother.
And slew his brother.
That's a wicked, man. Slew his own brother. Go on. That's off. Right? And he did it out of guile. We're led to believe he did it out of guile, man. When Abel wasn't looking. Patted him on the back and stabbed him in the stomach, how they say, man. Right? Go on.
And wherefore slew he him?
And why did he slay him?
Because his own works were evil and his brother's righteous.
He hated that righteousness. I gotta kill him. It's too righteous. Everybody should be like me and to be evil. Go on.
Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. We know that we have passed from death unto life, because we love the brethren.
Because what?
Because we love the brethren.
Because we love the brethren. We pass from death unto life. Right? That's the resurrection. Go on.
He that loveth not his brother abideth in death.
So loving your brother is an action. If you don't love your brother, you abide in death. Your brother called you. You know he called you. You just keep hitting that remind me later. Remind me when I leave. Right? 30 minutes later. Just keep doing this, man. And turning up the volume that over Roger Ringer, man. Right? Go on.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Uh-oh.
And ye know that no murderer hath eternal life abiding in him.
So if you hate your brother, you're a murderer. You don't have to stab your brother and shoot him to be a murderer. Right. You can hate your brother in this thing. You can hold a grudge against your brother. You can despise your brother in your heart. All of these things make you a murderer in the eyes of the Most High. And the Lord said, no, you think a murderer is going to make it? No. Right? So you want to make sure that you don't have any hatred, grudges in your spirit, animosity, and whatever you may have with your brother, guess what, man? You're supposed to clean it up through the spirit, man. Right? And reconcile that with one another. Shalom.
God. Let's go to Sirach 25 and go to verse 1. God. And that's important, man. When you read the law, the whole law is consistent of brotherhood, right? The way you want to be treated, you treat your brother the same way, right? That's the whole law summed up in one, man. You have to show brotherly love in these last days.
Sirach chapter 25, verse 1. In three things I was beautified and stood up, beautiful both before God and men.
Right, this is beautiful before the Lord. These things right here are just glorious in the Lord's eyes, right? And before men, right?
The unity of brethren.
The what?
The unity of brethren.
Right, and brothers who may not have brethren around or sisters around on the YouTube, you'll understand once you come around the congregation. This is something you really can't live without, right? The Most High took you from where you was at, removed you from the wicked people of the world that you were dealing with, and put you around like-minded Israelites who were trying to serve the Lord in truth and sincerity. The unity of brethren is beautiful before the Lord. What else?
The love of neighbors.
Right, the love of neighbors, man. I can go to this brother and know that this brother is going to do the same thing that I would do for him, and much more. If I asked him to walk 10 miles, he said, let's walk 1,000. Right?
A man and a wife that agree together.
And those three things are beautiful before anybody, right? Except the so-called white man. They hate to see that. Right? That's why they got the COINTELPRO. They come in and sow discord. Willie Lynch, right? Light skin against dark skin, man against woman, old against young. But these things are beautiful before the Lord, right? Rising before the hoary head and helping him up, right? Helping your brother when he's down, loving your enemy. Because best believe you're going to have enemies in your nation that you may not like, but you have to love them. That's the love of neighbors. That's how you gain a friend, right? That's Sirach 6 and 7, man. Right? You got it right.
I can get the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 12, chapter 2 and verse 12.
2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 12. Furthermore, when I came to Troas to preach Hamashiach's gospel, and a door was opened unto me of the Lord.
Right.
I had no rest in my spirit.
Hey, Paul said he didn't have no rest in his spirit. Read.
Because I found not Titus my brother.
Why didn't he have no rest?
Because I found not Titus my brother.
And that's spiritual, man. Because you love your brother so much, you not find them rest, man. Where's my brother at? What's going on with him, man? That's spiritual, man. And a brother could literally be catching hell, going through all type of temptation, and you can't have no rest in your spirit till you find out what's going on with that brother, man. Till you help him up, till you guide him in the right direction. Read on.
But taking my leave of them, I went from thence into Macedonia.
Right, you can go to 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 18.
2 Corinthians 12 and verse 18. I desired Titus, and with him I sent a brother. Did Titus make a gain of you? Walk we not in the same spirit?
And you want a brother to walk in the same spirit as you, man. You don't want to always have a brother, you picking the Bulls, he picking the Lakers, man. Right? You want chicken, he want beef. That's on a carnal level, man. But it's more spiritually. You want to go an extra hour at camp, you want to go home, man. Right? You want to do God knows what a righteousness and give alms. He's thinking about beer. You don't want a brother like that. You want a brother moving in the same spirit as you, man. Ready to pick up the yoke, go hard for the spirit. Right? That's the men that Paul labored with, man. Right, Vito?
Walk we not in the same steps?
Walk we not in the same steps. So you want a brotherhood that everybody's like-minded, walking in the same steps as you. Let's go to Genesis chapter 4, right, in verse 6. Right? I'll go to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 6.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 6.
Right?
And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Right, if you do what's right, you'll be accepted.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire.
Right.
And thou shalt rule over him.
Read.
And Cain talked with Abel, his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him.
So now we read in the 1 John what happened, but now we're reading a real life event, man. Right, read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
He said, where is your brother at, man? Right, go on.
And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Right, and this is not New Jack City kind of style. If you seen New Jack City, you had them Wesley Snipes on the rooftop with what's his name in the movie, brother? He killed him, man. He said, am I my brother's keeper? G Money, throughout G Money, man. And he's sitting there crying, am I my brother's keeper, man? On the rooftop. Then he blow his brother's brains out, man. That's not what this is talking about right here. Right, read that again.
And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother?
Where is your brother at, man? I don't know. I didn't even save his number. He got to figure that out on his own. He a man, ain't he? Right? That's what you should know the situation of your brother and the estate of your brother, man. Right? That's called being your brother's keeper, meaning watching over your brother. He said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Go on.
Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
So we're commanded to be our brother's keeper, man. The word keeper means watcher, a watchman, right? To watch over your brother's spirit, man. So if your brother dealing with something, if you see, even real quick, go to Luke 22 and 30. When you see spirits coming at your brother, you pray for him, you fast for him, right? You may see your brother dealing with something. So bring that up. And really, that's like Amos was saying, it's really deep because the so-called white man attacks that so hard. He attacks the brotherhood so hard, man. Like we're going into Willie Lynch, gang violence, Crips, Bloods, religion, anything and everything to divide brothers. Because when Israelite brothers get around each other, it's a different spirit. I don't know how I don't know what the other nations feel like when they get around each other, because I ain't one of them. But it can't be like this, man. It can't be like brothers on feast days or brothers on Passover and new moons, man. I don't know what they feel like, man. They probably just lust. Esau probably in there lusting after each other, man. All of the men, they undressing each other with their eyes. Then they go in there, they do coke, and they pretend, they do God knows what, man. But when Israel get together, it's a different spirit, man. You gotta watch for your brother stealing from you. Ain't no brother trying to take your woman. And ain't no brother coming here and saying, I'll whoop everybody up here, man. I'll beat everybody. You know how brothers get, man. Right. In the world, man. In the world. Right? I'll do everybody, man. Yeah, you drunk, man. Then it's a fight, man. In the world, it's always a fight. So it might be a shootout. Somebody's car gets stolen. It's always drama, man. It's always drama and madness, man. There's always something, right? Yeah, fighting a woman, man, in the parking lot, right? At the gas station. So bring that up, King.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 22 and verse 30. That ye may eat and drink.
31.
Verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
You see that? So he saw spirits trying to get on his brother, man. Right? Go on. You might see a brother dealing with something, man. Yeah, this brother, man, he getting slothful. Yeah, this brother got a wrath of demon. I'm gonna pray for this brother, man. Right? And then you might tell him, man, you say, hey, look, brother, these spirits trying to get to you, man. That's love right there. Telling your brother that certain spirits that you see are affecting him, that's love right there. A lot of brothers, that's his business. You gotta work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Right? You keep pulling Philippians 2 and 12, man. That's occasional, brother. It's not for every occasion, man. Right? Go on.
Verse 32. But I have prayed for thee.
No, I just made a YouTube video about you.
But I have prayed for thee.
I made a post about you on Facebook.
But I have prayed for thee.
But I prayed for thee, man. A lot of brothers make a post about a brother. Or a brother dealing with something, you go tell 3 other brothers. I heard about Amos. You know, Amos, he's dealing with X, Y, and Z. I knew he wasn't like that. He always think because then you start down, pouring drinks and talking about Amos. So you make a night out of it, man. Amos roast night. And Amos isn't even around, man. And y'all are talking about Amos from sundown to the sun come up. Then when Amos come around, y'all salute him. Amos said, Kwam Yasha. He said, Kwam Yasha. Right? That's off. Right? So read on, King.
And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother.
No, just yell at them.
Strengthen thy brother.
Rule over them.
Strengthen thy brother.
Rob them.
Strengthen thy brother.
That's a commandment too, to strengthen your brothers. Right? That's a commandment from the Lord. So you got to ask yourself, lately, how have you been strengthening your brothers, man? Right? Because brothers would say that they're converted. Psalms 19:7, the law of the Lord is perfect, convert the soul. Testimony of the Lord is sure, make a wise to simple. So you're converted. How are you strengthening your brothers? Camp is just one way. That's only, like we say, 35% of doing the work. The other 65% is outside of camp, man. Right. Calls, checking on brothers. You know, you might be teaching the lesson. You might do a video. You might be there, be a listening ear. That's doing the work. You might go twain with a brother. You might spend time with a brother. Right? All of that is doing the work of the Most High too. We always say camp is only 35, or I say that 35% of doing the work, man. If that, you know, but that's still part of doing the work, and that's still part of strengthening your brothers, but that's not the only way to strengthen your brother. Fasting for him. You might be fasting for a brother. He don't need to know that, man. Right? You might be praying for that brother. So these are the things that show love towards your brother. In the world, they love them, what they call spark you up, man, give you a blunt, pour you up, man. You know, I love you. I love you, man. And he pouring you down Hennessy and he mixing it with that Douce, man. Right? Or brothers get drunk. Oh, you know I love you, man. Right, man? You was always there. But remember that time? Remember then the brother drunk, he got his arm on your shoulder, man. But he's thinking about your woman. You got it.
Let's go to Leviticus chapter 19 and go to verse 18. Right? And all friendships start off great, man. Right? The beginning of something is called the honeymoon stage, where everything's perfect, you laughing, you joking, and then a small discrepancy happens. And then all hell breaks loose, man. I never liked this dude. I hated him. Because y'all didn't agree on one thing. Y'all didn't agree that y'all wanted chicken instead of beef. Right? And now you hate this brother forever, man. And that's how things go, man. Right? Let's bring that up, kid.
Leviticus 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right? And that's the problem. A lot of our people bear grudges instead of showing brotherly love and talking out situations and coming to a common ground so you can laugh about those discrepancies. Us brothers up here done had discrepancies more than a little bit. What is it? It's 8 hands up here. We need 18 more, right? To talk about the times brothers didn't agree. But things like that, they don't separate the love of brethren, right? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 1. Because the love of brethren, you're going to be tight-knit. Like y'all join at the hip, man. Right? You would die for that brother. You would cry with that brother. Right? And that's the true brotherhood that Israelites should be establishing in these last days, man. If you can look at the brother next to you and say, I wouldn't cry for that brother, cry with that brother, then you got to check your spirit, man. Right, let's bring that up.
1 Samuel 18, verse 1. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David.
So after he was talking to his father, man, his soul was like this with David, man. Right? That was like his blood brother. Right? Blood wouldn't have made them any closer. Right?
And Jonathan loved him as his own soul.
You know how much you gotta love a brother to say, I love him as my own soul? Right? Everybody loves their own soul. That's why brothers not up here shooting heroin, smoking crack, right? Cutting themselves, beating themselves up, right? Doing things to hurt themselves. That's how Jonathan loved David. And the feeling was mutual, man. The feeling was so mutual, he portrayed his father to help David. And that's the type of brotherhood and love that we should all aspire to have with brothers who have like minds, brothers who want to serve the Lord wholeheartedly, not getting, like the brother said, making videos, getting on comment boards saying Lord knows what, right? That's folly, man. That's the complete opposite spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? The true spirit is letting bygones be bygones. Is that what they say? Let bygones be bygones, right? Turn the other cheek. Exactly. Let it go, man. That's truly the spirit of the Lord. Being able to man up and say, you know what, this is folly and madness. Let's talk about this and move on past this, man. And you got to mark those spirits that get in, just outright just say whatever to people in the midst of congregations, man. You got to flee from that spirit.
or when they get angry, they say anything to you, right? They bring out your deepest, darkest, try to just cut you and hurt you, man. Right? Brothers do that, man. Because that brother was thinking about that the whole time, man. That's what he really thought about you. So as soon as he had opportunity, he brought it out, man. That's why you had cancer. Your father, and all types of stuff, man. Your father left you, man, when he was 14. You remember that? So that ain't no brother you want to be around, man, because that's what he's really thinking about you, man. Come on. Come. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse number 1. 1 Samuel chapter 20 and verse number 1.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 1. And David fled from Naioth and Ramah, and came and said before Jonathan, what have I done? What is mine iniquity?
Right, what did I do? Why is your father seeking my life? Read on.
And what is my sin before thy father, that he seeketh my life?
Right.
And he said unto him, God forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will do nothing, either great or small, but that he will shew it me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so.
Right, meaning whatever Saul is going to do, he's going to tell me before he do it. And I'm going to tell you to make sure that you're preserved in your life and everything's going to be all right. Jump to verse 16.
Verse 16. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And Jonathan caused David to swear again because he loved them. For he loved him as he loved his own soul.
Right, he loved him as he loved his own soul, man. And I always say, man, just because your back hurt, you're not going to take your back and crack it, man. And your wife may make you mad, or your brother may make you mad, but if you treat that brother like you treat your soul, if your arm is broke, your wrist is cramped, you're going to be delicate with your wrist. You're going to put ointment on it. When it makes you mad and it's painful, you don't beat it up even more, man. Your damn wrist is crooked. You just crook it all the way around, man. F it, man. It's making me mad. Let's just break this wrist off. You're not going to do that. You're going to be delicate with it. You're going to get a sling. You're going to make sure that that's okay. You're going to wrap it. You're going to make sure that you're delicate, and you making sure that you love yourself, just like you love your brother. Because he may not have the discernment about what's going on, or he may be out the spirit. You got to be strong for that brother. Now jump to verse 30.
Verse 30. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto
Right,
him,
because he felt like his own son turned on him, his own flesh and blood. Read.
And he said unto him, thou son of the perverse rebellious woman.
Right, and read that again.
Thou son of the perverse rebellious woman.
Right, man, and we all know what that means. Right? That's calling him a son of a man. I mean, that's literally what he said, man.
Right,
SOB.
You SOB, man. Right, so Saul was off. Read that again.
Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan.
That's off. Read.
And he said unto him, thou son of the perverse rebellious woman.
Right, it's said real delicate and in old English, but we know what that means, man. Right, you know?
Do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness?
Right, so we cussing out his own son through his hatred of David. But yet you're going to have to defend the righteous, even if it's going against your father, even if it's going against your brother. Whatever's going on, you got to defend the righteous and be your brother's keeper. Go to Proverbs 17 and 17. Proverbs 17 and 17. That's right.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity.
So he's born to scoff.
A brother is born for adversity.
So a brother's born for adversity. That's why brothers are born in this truth, man. To help you with your adversity, man. It could be physically, it could be health, it could be financial, it could be spiritual, it can be all types of things, man. That's why brothers are born, man. You're not born for yourself in this thing, man. You're literally here to help your brother with adversity, man. That means answering the phone when those phone calls come in, get to those messages, as swift as you can, man. Being there when your brother needs you, man. Brother might call you at 12 a.m., man. I'm in the bed. He's screaming, my house is on fire. My house is on fire. Come save me. I'm locked up. Oh, well, right? And then he kind of get off the phone, man. Right? Then you hear the damn phone disconnect, man. Then you escape by the skin of your teeth from the fire, and he tell you the next day that, his phone died, man. But his phone didn't die. He was watching the big game. You're supposed to be there for your brother in adversity, man. Now go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 22 real quick. And 20, you said at 20.
Sirach, chapter 22 and verse 20. Whoso casteth a stone at the birds frayeth them away, and he that upbraideth his friend breaketh friendship.
So you can break a friendship with a brother, man. Right? Upbraid, what's another word for upbraid? We're going to get the definition. Somewhat. We're going to get the definition. Right? That's all right. We're going to pull it up. That's a word that's used all throughout the scriptures. Right. It's churlish type behavior. So, all right, bring it up.
Definition of upbraid. To criticize severely.
To do what?
To criticize severely.
Meaning you leaning on them, man. I mean, you raising your voice, you irate, you screaming at them. Go on.
Find fault with.
Find fault with.
To reproach severely.
So this is like wrath right here, man. Brother foaming at the mouth. Hey, brother might not really want to deal with you no more, man. Why he might have saw a side of you that he never thought existed in you, man. He might not want to deal with that spirit. Read on.
Scold vehemently.
To do what?
Scold vehemently.
So there ain't no quiet rebuke. There ain't no you got a stain on your shirt kind of deal. That's he ready. He damn near want to fight you. A brother kind of sizing you up. He kind of reaching in his book bag. I got that. Right? I do something to you, man.
Dogged up.
Yeah, I'm dogged up. I'll crush you, man. Right now, I put one between your eyes. That's wicked, man. And he got fringes on. So he'll put one right between your eyes. Read on. Read 22 and 21.
Sorry, right, 22 and verse 21.
So these things can actually happen, man. You can upbraid a friend. So be mindful how you deal with your friends, how you deal with your brothers. If you're in the spirit of wrath and hey, take a step back, man. Control yourself, man. Look, I'm gonna just walk away for a minute before I say something, man. And you got to do that sometimes, man. You got to know how to control your tongue. Right, go on.
Verse 21. Though thou drewest a sword at thy friend, yet despair not, for there may be a returning to faith.
So certain situations, y'all can reconcile. Right, go on.
If thou hast opened thy mouth against thy friend, fear not.
Right, because you might say something, I don't like your shoes, man. And you might get on him, man. But he might, you can reconcile that. I was just messing with you, you know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever. So there can be reconciliation when you open your mouth against your neighbor. But certain things that a man may say out of his mouth, you might not want to deal with that brother no more, man. He might just start cursing you in the Hebrew, right? He might say, look, that's why your woman and your kids did X, Y, and Z. Jake can always take it there. If anybody knows how to take it, there's Jake, man. And it be your own brother, man. He know how to get to you, man. Right? So there are certain things you can say and you can bring peace and make amends, but there are other things that just are not can't be reconciled. So read on, King.
For there may be a reconciliation, except for upbraiding.
Except for upbraiding, we read that.
Or pride.
Or
disclosing of secrets.
You're telling this brother secrets, man. All of his deepest, darkest secrets. You got a tab on Excel, Microsoft Excel, with his brother's name, and you got an Excel sheet with all of his secrets, man. For each time he told you one. Right, go on.
Or a treacherous wound.
Or you record all your conversations. He don't even know. You got brothers that do that, man. Hold on, let me call you back because you forgot to press the record button. What was that again? Aki was breaking up. Right? Just so you can get it, so you can make sure it's clear in your device, man. And you save them in thumb drives. Right? So you know what? If a brother get caught recording, I'm gonna be hot, man. Hell, you recording our conversations for, man. Right? Go on. Right.
For these things, every friend will depart.
Read.
Be faithful to thy neighbor.
Be what?
Be faithful to thy neighbor.
Meaning be loyal. Be a brother, man. Be a loyal brother. Don't be a brother that's fickle. Right? You're there sometimes and you're not there sometimes. Sometimes you're around, sometimes you're not around. Sometimes you pick up the phone, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go ghost for 10 weeks. Sometimes you back for 10 weeks, man. Right? Go on. You see those guys in those interrogation rooms eating Big Macs, fried chicken, loaded fries. How did they get that, man? How did he get loaded fries in the interrogation room, man? steak and Ruth Chris. You think he earned that the right way, man? No. Right, so go on.
Be faithful to thy neighbor in his poverty.
Be faithful to your neighbor when he down, man. Go on.
That thou mayest rejoice in his prosperity.
Read.
Abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble.
That's what a brother's going to do. He's going to be with you in the time of trouble. From the time that you down bad to the time you get back on your feet to the time that you excel, that brother's going to be there with you. What do they call it now? They call it ride or die, huh?
Right.
Some people, that's my, what they say, my A1, day one. They say all types of stuff, man.
Right.
My day one. You know, you got brothers that you could just think of. Yeah, that brother, we've been through a lot together, man. He been with me when I was down. He with me when I'm up top. So, and he held it down with me, man. You might have had to, you know, crash at a brother's house. He might have pulled up when your car was broken down, kind of helped you out, man. He might have, you know, helped you get a job or something. He might have helped you. He might have fasted with you and you overcame a demon with him. So those are the brothers that the Most High is talking about. Read.
That thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage.
Read.
For a mean estate is not always to be contempt.
Yeah, because a brother might be in a lower state, but guess what? The Most High might be trying that brother. Right? A mean estate is not always to be contempt. Look at Job's mean estate that he was in. The word mean means rough or tumultuous or something bad. Every person's bad situation is not always to be contempt because the Most High could be trying them and to see if you're going to be faithful with them in that situation. Read on.
Nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration.
Read.
As the vapor and smoke of a furnace goeth before the fire, so reviling before blood.
Read.
Verse 25, I will not be ashamed to defend a friend.
What the Lord say?
I will not be ashamed to defend a friend.
Read that again.
I will not be ashamed to defend a friend.
Read.
Neither will I hide myself from him.
You can't be ashamed to defend your friend, man.
That's right.
Your brother, see your brother getting pulled over, right? Esau getting out, 4 police cars pull up, and you just, ooh, damn, man, I hope that brother repent, man. Or you yell out the window, that's because you're not on fire. Right? And then he step on the gas and peel off, man. No, man. Hey, look, if a brother get, hey, we gonna be right there with him, man. Recording hey, look, we'll be there, man. We'll be there. Hey, when the things happen, man. But we're gonna be there for our brother, man. Right? That's what it means. I would not be afraid to defend a friend. Right? Y'all might be in so-called the same FEMA camp together, man. Right. Y'all might be in the same cell, same concentration camp. No, I don't know him. He's not in my camp. He's still on the milk level. I don't know this guy. We had this guy. Right? That's off, man. You want to make sure that you are a brother that is not ashamed to defend a brother. So guess what? And one more example. A brother could be talking about Nehemiah. I don't like the way Nehemiah did this. No, did you talk to that brother about it? Right? Now, he didn't do that. I was there. Yeah, don't feed into damn murmuring and gossip, man. If that's your brother, defend your brother, man. Right? Hey, look, I know you talk about this brother, but did you talk to him first? I don't want to hear about it. Apply Matthew 18 and 15. Keep me out of it. I don't want that around me, man. Or you might defend him. No, the brother didn't do that. I remember. Here's the footage, man. You can't just be weak and just give heed. Oh, yeah, everybody's talking about Nehemiah. I guess I got something I want to say, too, right? You just get him. Yeah, I didn't like his sweater, right? Just to fit in, man. Then the brother say, yeah, and then he pour you up so he can keep talking more about it, man. Right? No, man. If the situation presents itself and it's justified, defend your brother, man. The Lord defend you, man.
Right.
One more point. When Yahushua was arrested in Gethsemane, I can't think of the precept right now, and they wanted to take him and the apostles. What did he say about the apostles, man? Tell them about the apostles. Brothers, remember? Let these go, man. They get me, man. Hey, let my brothers go, man. Right? Let them go free. And they wanted to get arrested with them, man. So they fled, but their spirit wanted to stay, but the flesh had them flee. But Yahushua said, let these go, man. What did they do? Right? So he defended his brothers, man. You got a point?
Yeah, when I was a sophomore at college, I was taking a human resource management class, and I had read a whole paper about a brother in the river.
Oh wow, you see that's love right there, man.
About how good of an example.
That's good, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Right? That's beautiful, man. There you go.
God, you know, if you look at all the works of the Most High, they're countervail against each other. You got summer, you got winter, you got rain, you got sunshine. Right? Let's go to Sirach chapter 37 and start at verse 3. Right? So you got to be mindful of these people too. Right? You got friends who only abide just to be around you, to benefit off what you can bring forth. Right? Like they can ride your coattail to the kingdom. They call them groupies, man.
Right.
You got these rappers and there's 30 brothers around them. Right. Don't bring entourage. Right. Don't bring nothing to the table but eat and drink the finest of all things. Right? You got to be mindful of those people, man. Right? A true friend is going to be in dirt and ashes with you. Right. Like what the brother said last week, we're going to be on putting our butts in the ground walking.
Right.
We're going to be doing that together, man.
Right.
Shoot. Y'all brothers. Y'all remember that?
You had to have been there.
Yeah, the scoffer. Y'all remember that?
That's right. He was a scoffer that came up mocking the servants of the Lord, man.
The last video.
Right, that's right.
Right, let's bring that out. But that's a friend. He gonna be doing it with you, man. Right? If you in a lower state, we all in a lower state, man. Right. I don't care how my pocket's looking. If you hurt, then I'm hurt, man. We're gonna make sure we're gonna get right together, man. Right? Nobody's gonna be SOL when you got a brother who's really with you.
Right.
Sirach 37 verse 3. O wicked imagination, whence camest thou, and to cover the earth with deceit.
Right, and that's how it all starts, with a wicked imagination. Right, now they got deceit in their heart. I'm gonna become this man's best friend. Right, look what he got. He got a Tesla, a Maserati, and a 12-bedroom mansion. Oh yeah, this about to be my man right here. We about to be best friends. We about to be like what's the dude named Ace and Paid in Full and Money Making Mitch. Right, we're gonna be like that. Right, keep going, King.
Verse 4. There is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will he be against them.
Right, so it's a friend while you're up, everything's good. Right, he's right there with you. He's shining, taking pictures with you. Got the diamonds on, fresh garment, but let you come across a lower state. He's gonna be mocking and throwing stones at you as well, man. Those are truly not friends. Those are opportunists. Those are Satan for real. Right. That's Satan right there. Right, keep going, King.
Verse 5. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly.
And what does that mean? I'm gonna help this man out because it's what's that? Beneficiaries, right? This brother, he can help me out in some way. Let me help him. They say, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But they don't have to say it, right? Be like, look, you remember that time I helped you? Right, well, just go ahead and throw that cash at. You know, I got 25, I need 25 more. You know what to do. Right, and walk away after he done helped you carry that big old dresser up 5 flights of stairs. Right, keep going, King.
And take it up the buckler against the enemy. Forget not thy friend and thy mind, and be not unmindful of him and thy riches.
Right, so you got to remember your friend once you come up. Those who held you down, when you come up, you got to make sure that they are in a good estate as well. Right, let's go to Sirach 6 and 13. God. That's one of my favorite chapters, Sirach 6. That's how you examine who's really your friend. And if you're really being a friend to them, right? It's important that you examine your friendships, man. Right? You may have known somebody 20 years, and you can really look back and be like, you know what? I was not a good friend to this person, man. Let me make amends and be a proper friend. So it's important to self-examine.
Sirach chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends.
So you got to understand the two. You got to understand who's truly for you and who's truly for themselves, and take heed unto them who are truly there for you, right?
A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that have found such in one have found a treasure.
Right, a faithful friend is a defense, man. What's a good defensive NFL team? I don't know, the Legion of Boom back in the day, right. The Seahawks, man. You wasn't scoring on them. Because they had that camaraderie, man. They was truly friends. That friend is going to be a defense, man. Spiritually, he's going to be a defense. He's going to send you precepts when you're going off. When you're feeling low, he's going to send you precepts. Physically, he'll be a defense to you because when you get around, you get joyous. Right? Your heart will be glad. Right? Your blood pressure will go back to normal. You stressed out and then you get around your friends. Now you're joyful, man. Now you don't got that tension headache all the time. Right?
Verse 15. Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable.
Right? Nothing is compared to a good friendship, man. You can't compare anything into this world into a good friendship, man. Not money, not cars, not hundreds of thousands of women. None of that compares to having a true brother by your side. Right? One more.
Verse 16, a faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him.
And this is truly how you're going to see if the Lord is truly first in your heart. Because the Lord is going to put that faithful friend around you. He's going to put that person around you to make sure that you're in a position to keep striving for the truth. That you're not going to air off and go to the side of water, or you're not going to air off and go to the side of fire. You're going to be walking that tightrope to the kingdom, right? That medicine of life, man. Not Tylenol, not Adderall, right? But the love of brethren is what keeps you healthy in this truth through the Spirit.
Let me get this quick precept. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 9 and verse number 6. Right? And that's a good point, man. Because if you're a good brother, not only will you take care of your brother and be there for him, you'll be there for his kids, man. Right? Let's get that 2 Samuel 9 and verse 6.
2 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 6. Now when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was coming to David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said to Mephibosheth, and he answered, behold, thy servant. And David said unto him, fear not, for I will surely shew thee kindness for Jonathan, thy father's sake.
Right, because they made a covenant. And not only betwixt themselves, but with their seed forever. You know?
And will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father.
And David didn't have to do that, man. He didn't have to give that land unto Saul, right? So like for Saul's servant's sake, and to Jonathan, and to his seed forever, man. But he loved him. So whatever he did through the Spirit, not only for Jonathan, he did for his seed too. You may do that for your brother's kids, man. They may trip and fall, right? The brother in the bathroom, you may get them up, right? You may hold them, get them food, whatever the case may be, protect them. They drifting off in the road, you kind of grab them, right? A nigga would be like, man, you better get his son. Damn kid just, what's over here? And the car coming, man. Just look at that, man. He not even, look at his kids, man. This how you treat them at home? And just look and look down. You got to be your brother's keeper, man. In many ways than one. With their children, over their spirit, whatever they don't have, you got to be there for them. You want to be like David, man. Right, read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. And David said unto him, fear not, for I will surely shew thee kindness for Jonathan, thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father.
Right.
And thou shalt eat bread at my table continually.
Right, you're going to eat with me forever, man. I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. You're not going to want for anything. And he was lame. Read on.
And he bowed himself and said, what is thy servant, that thou shouldest look upon such a dead dog as I am?
Right, because he was lame. Right, people probably were looking down at him. Right, he's not on the level of David. He's a king. But nevertheless, for David's love of Jonathan, he took care of his seed and his children forever. Yeah, that's a good verse. And it reminded me, David was a man of his word, man. That's a good point. That's what your friend is going to be. If he say he's going to be there, he's going to be there. If he say I'm 5 minutes away, he's going to be there soon, man. The brother say, look, I got you, X, Y, and Z, what do you need? He's going to have it, man. Like we always say, hey, that's all the man got at the end of the day. It's his word, man. Right? So let's go to Matthew 18 and 15. Because you might not get, everything's not going to be peaches and cream, for lack of better terms, with your brother, man. You're around a brother forever, man. And guess what? Y'all gonna get into it. Y'all are bound to butt heads, man. Right? I don't want to be around a brother for damn God knows how long, and we never had words, man. Everything's always good. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh man, say what it is, man. So let's hash it out, man. The brother always, okay, I'm sorry. Right? Okay. Right? Okay, you got it. Right? No, brother. Yeah, that pipsqueak spirit, man. Right? Bring it out, man. Because you are going to get into it with your brother. Right? And here's how you deal with getting into it with your brother. Matthew 18 and 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
No, go tell Thawam and Nashaiah and all of the elders of HOI.
Between thee and him alone.
So make a post and a video and write in your journal. right? About what this man did to you, man. Right? Go on.
Between thee and him alone.
Yeah, don't go home and write in your diary, man. Right? Everything that this brother did to you, man. And then close it. And just heap up page upon page, man.
Right.
That's not how you deal with problems, man. That's what Esau let you get away with. Here's your diary. Right? Today, what's that, Doug? Brothers remember TV show, did he have a diary? Yeah, I think he had a diary, man. A journal, yeah, a journal, right? And he would write in his journal all the time, man. Right? About everything that befell him that day, man. There's no journal in the scriptures, man. If Nehemiah does God knows what to me, I have to confess how I feel about it, man. I have to be transparent. I can't hold nothing back. I have to be authentic. And I have to come in a humble spirit, man. I can't just roll up and just fight the brother, man. Go on. Or that, like the brother said, we went into the law, that tit for tat spirit, man. Oh, he got me. All right, I'm gonna get his woman, man. Right? That's how brothers in the world operate, man. Right? I'm gonna take his kids. I'm his kid. When did there was an elder, right? He told when Jada, he told what did he say? Chris Rock. He told Chris Rock, he gave him bad counsel. Am I gonna tell you everything he said? No. Right? But it was something along the lines of get dope, man. Dope up this woman and do God knows what with her, man. That's not how you deal with your brother, man.
Right.
You don't go dope up his wife, man, and then deal with her, man. And go get the finest dope from Philly. I think it was Philly, right? And you get that, and then you dope up your brother's wife and deal with her and go tit for tat, man. That's the most wicked thing I've ever heard in a long time. Whatever situation you're in with your brother, you come to your brother with humbleness and you're transparent and you lay down what it is, man. And it's just y'all two. And really, it should be done in person if it can be, man. Because things get misconstrued over text. Right? What the hell he mean, man? Right? He sent this and the brother didn't even mean it like that, man. Now you in your mind thinking about a spirit this brother texted you and he didn't even mean it like that, man. You know, some brothers are short with their conversation. This is how they are. Some brothers are long-winded. You know, some brothers, they text every word in caps and every brother does it. So those conversations really should be done in person, man, if you can. And if not, you know, a FaceTime or over the phone, right? But definitely not over text. Go on.
If he shows,
it's like, this is also with sisters too. It's not just brothers, it's also sisters, right? Go on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Right, he might hear you. Nehemiah might, you know, he might have damn poured wine in my cup, man. I might have drank the cup and I might have been mad, man. I don't like the way you did that. You know, X, Y, and Z. He might have said, Salakia, I went off. I had too much to drink. Right? Or he might say, the hell with that, man. Right? You're supposed to be turned up. It's a day of mirth. The hell with what you got going on. Then he pulled Ecclesiastes chapter 2, 23 on down. Who can eat or drink more than I? And now we going back and forth, man. So he might not hear me. Read on.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
I didn't say take 4 or 5 people, right? And make a video log. Y'all all on FaceTime talking about this brother. No, I mean, hey, look, you take 2 brothers, you explain the situation, and these brothers are going to give the judgment witnesses to testify what was done. Yeah, I saw you pour wine in this cup, right? Here's X, Y, and Z. Here's the law. Here's the statute. Here's the commandment. Then another brother say, yeah, you went off, right? Let's say the witnesses testify that this brother was wrong. He say, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You know, then he go to another scripture, man, Revelation, the 16th chapter, right? Then he start pulling scriptures out of context. So now you got to bring this brother before the church, right? The church is not down the street where your granny goes, man, and your pastor, right? Well, pastor, I got a story I got to tell you, right? And he's wiping the sweat off his face, man, counting money. The church is the body, right? Go on.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church.
Now you have to have a situation where you express what's going on before the church. Read on.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man.
As a what?
As an heathen man.
And what?
And a publican.
And a publican, man. So that's how you deal with situations, right? You don't murmur, cause sedition, backbite, gossip. I don't pick up the phone and I'm on my stomach, twirling the damn corded phone, kicking my feet up in the air, talking about Nakamai, man. I forgot one precept, man. Eat damn white cake, man. About how this brother went off, man. That's not how you operate, man.
Right.
If a brother went off, you go through it according to scripture, man. Right? And a lot of things, when this isn't applied, all hell could break loose, man. All hell could break loose. So you're commanded, even again, when you get into it with your brother, how you're supposed to deal with it. Right? And one more, jump to verse 21.
Verse 21.
Right?
Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times?
Is there a limit on forgiveness? Go on.
Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
Yeah, that's not 490 times, man. That's not what it's talking about. Then the 491st time, you do God knows what. All Yahushua is saying is you're always supposed to put forth forgiveness to your brother. Now, if your brother keep talking to your woman and you forgive him, do you keep dealing with that brother? No, man. You have to have discernment, right? That's that song from I Wish You Didn't Trust Me Too so much, man. Right? That's a song that Curtis Mayfield? If I'm not mistaken, he has a song, I Wish You Didn't Trust Me So Much. And it's a song about one brother telling the audience that this brother trusts me so much. He keep leaving me around his wife, man. Right. He always want to see what you and your rib getting into. What we getting into tonight? What's the move? Right? And you have no discernment. Well, you can come with us, man. You get up and go to the bathroom, and your woman just staring at him, man. And then when you come back from the bathroom, she put her eyes back on the menu. Right? What do you want, babe? Right? And they sit up there talking the whole time, huh? So you're supposed to have a level of discernment, but you're also supposed to forgive your neighbor and forgive your brother. Right? There's no scripture that says they say forgive, don't forget. Right? Certain things you let go, right, according to the how weighty it is, and certain things you kind of keep in your mind. Right? It's all according to the spirit. Right? Brother step on your shoes, that's water under the bridge. Or you let that go. A brother tried to kidnap your son. Hold on, you mark that brother, man. Right? And you deal with that brother accordingly. Right? My brother's kind. Let me get this. Let's get Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 26. Right? And you can't be holding stuff in too, man. Because something small, like it's tripping over somebody's shoelace, it could grow into a fight, man, in 3 months.
Right.
All by not letting it go, man, and purging that out. The smallest things. Bring that out.
Ephesians 4:26. Be ye angry and sin not.
Right? It's okay to be angry. We're not a robot in the truth. You're not just going to shake yourself to never be mad ever again just because you want the knowledge of truth. Certain things may make you mad, man. And your brother, you may be building something or whatever the case may be, man, just got a new car, and then a brother hit it. Like, well, damn, what's going on? Yeah, my bad, blah, 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 blah. It's all right, we're going to figure it out later. But that expressive moment at the time, you're like, hey, I mean, heavy-footed, man. What are you doing? I mean, what's going on? You in a way? You in a rush? Right? You may be angry at that exact moment, but you can't get home later that night. You tell your wife you're going on a long rant over dinner. Then he did this, and then he did that. And then you take it all the way to the damn pillow, and you sleep, and you're still talking to her, man. She done been fell asleep, right? You can't just be angry and the sun going down on your wrath. And a good example of that, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 9. That's what Saul did. Because when all of the women of the town were screaming and going about David, what did Saul do? Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 9.
1 Samuel 18 and verse 9. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow.
On the what?
On the morrow.
On the morrow. Meaning he didn't let it go. He eyed David from that day forward. That just goes to show you these laws and these precepts are from the foundation. From the time of something that Paul is saying, and you should have kept that all during the time of 1 Samuel. So because Saul didn't let it go that night and he eyed David from that moment on, what came about? His kingdom got stripped from him, his understanding, his love for his brother, all his dominion that he could have had, the kingdom being set up, his house, everything got taken away and destroyed. Right? Read that again, King.
And saw I David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul.
Why did the evil spirit trouble him? Because he harvested all of that in from the day before. And that just goes to show you could be angry, but if that anger starts to go to when you go to sleep, you wake up in the morning, that's your first thought. Then the second thought is, why the hell did he do it, man? And the third thought is, man, he think he could get away with that. And the fourth thought, and then it starts to grow into hatred. You know?
And he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand as other time.
Right, minding his business. Read on.
And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
No, it was love in Saul's hand.
And there was a javelin in Saul's hand.
So you don't know how much loving can actually grow by one night. One night by not letting something go could grow until you trying to kill a brother, man. And there's no account of him trying to kill him the day before, he just angry. But that loving starts to grow. You can put that bread in the oven for no less than 5 minutes and it starts to grow into a lump, man. So you got to understand how fast the spiritual demon Satan can work on your mind and your spirit, but not letting these things go. Go back to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Be ye not angry, be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
That's not polite advice Paul is giving. He's telling you that because it could grow into what? You killing somebody, man. That's how serious this is. By not letting it go and the sun going down upon your wrath. You know?
Verse 27. Neither give place to the devil.
Because if you give place to the devil, he's going to overtake you. He's going to overtake your mind. Now you hate your wife. Now you hate your husband. Now you hate your brother. Now you're just manipulating all of these lies in your mind of all other things that he did. Now you're thinking about things he did 4 months ago, a year ago. Now you're just thinking about how you want to murder him, how you hate him, and all of these things start to conjure up. Now jump to verse 32.
Verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another.
You have to forgive one another, man. You got to be tender-hearted. You got to put yourself in a position as another brother. Why he did it. He may be hurt. He may be suffering demons. He may need help. He need fast, whatever the case may be. You got to forgive that brother. You know?
Even as the Most High, for Hamashiach's sake, have forgiven you.
Right. And I go back to Sirach chapter 28, man. Right? So you have to forgive or else the Lord isn't going to hear your prayers.
Let's go to Romans 15 and 7.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 7.
And this is truly how you sum up the way you move in the spirit when you're dealing with brothers or sisters. It doesn't matter. This sums up everything.
Wherefore, receive ye one another, as Hamashiach also received us to the glory of the Most High.
Right? So you got to receive your brethren as Yahushua received us. And how did he receive us? He gave up his life so that we may have everlasting life. So you got to receive your brother in like manner, man. When you see your brother, say, I would die for this brother today, tonight, this second, because that's how the Lord received us, right? And that's extremely important, and to be mindful when dealing with brothers on the highways and byways, right? In congregations, at work, it don't matter, right? Receive them as the Lord has received you.
Yeah. And quick point in that verse, the Lord received us in our sinful estate, man. In the wicked estate, and had mercy and compassion on us and built us up, man. So give me let me get one more. Go to Jude 1. Well, I was talking about this the other day. Go to Jude, the first chapter. Right? And your brother also, the Lord said, confess your faults. That's another point, man. You can't confess your faults before a therapist and you're paying $600 a week. Confess your faults before your brother, man. And then you may be healed. Right? And go to Jude 1 and 22.
Jude chapter 1 and verse 22. And of some have compassion, making a difference.
So part of love is having compassion on your brother. Right? Knowing how to be merciful, knowing how to be a listening ear, knowing how to speak. The Lord said, he that hath friends must speaketh kind words, paraphrasing. Or he that speaketh kind words multiplieth friends, paraphrasing it. Right? So you want to know how to give compassion when compassion is needed. Go on. And does every situation present itself to give compassion? Not every situation does. Sometimes you gotta get on the brother, man. Right? If a brother see me eating pork, I guarantee your brother's not gonna. Come on, what are you doing? It's the end of the world, Come on, what's gotten into you? Yeah, give me a hug. I'm sitting there gnawing at the pork. Yeah, I hear you. I know, but no, man. Hey, a brother might fight me, man. You said what? I don't even know what that is, man. Oh, okay, see that? A roundhouse kick, man. A brother drop kick you, man. Right? Go on. Leg sweep. Read on. Right? Jude 1, read 22 again.
Verse 22. And of some have compassion, making a difference.
Because you can make a difference in the brother's day, a difference in the brother's life, a difference in the brother's week, simply by having compassion on him. Right? Go on.
And others save with fear.
And what?
And others save with fear.
Some brothers you save with fear. You got to kind of lean in on them, huh? But that goes into what? Discernment. That goes into discernment, man. There's some brothers, hey, we save with fear, man, or we attempt to. Some brothers we have compassion on. Right? If a sodomite come up to cat scoffing, throwing stuff at us, I mean, what do we want to do, man? Oh, brother, come on, brother. Right, brother, just stop throwing stuff. Right, you dodging it, and come on, right? Come on, what are you doing? Stuff hitting you in the no, man. You gonna get on them, man. Hey, if you don't repent, hey, the Most High is going to destroy you, man. You need to put off that evil spirit. So some brothers you save with fear. Read.
And others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire.
What if somebody pull you out the fire and break your shoulder? What if somebody pull you out the fire and break your wrist? Pull you out the fire, throw you on the ground, and your clothes get dirty. Pull you out the fire, you land on your back. And you survive, man. But they had to pull you out the fire, so things might happen, man. Right. But at least they pulled you out the fire. Right, go on.
Hating even a garment spotted by the flesh.
You gotta hate brother's garment spotted by the flesh. You gotta look at it, but I hate that damn stain on that brother. I hate that spot on that brother. I'm gonna get on him, man. In righteousness and in love. You know, so sometimes even dealing with your brother, there are times of compassion and there are times of hating your brother's sin so much that you save him with fear. But again, that's all according to discernment. Can't be all saved with fear or just all saved with compassion. Right? Come on, let's go to Acts chapter 15 and verse 36. Right, then land me back on that. But sometimes you got to get on brothers, man. Sometimes you may, be at odds, man, in righteousness. Bring that up.
Let's look at Acts chapter 15, verse 36. And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do.
Right, see how they do. Read on.
Verse 37. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark.
Right.
But Paul thought not good to take him with them who departed from them from Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work.
Right, he didn't go to do the work of the Lord. Read on.
And the contention was so sharp between them.
Meaning it was going back and forth. That's taken, man. Right, this brother has done this, he's done that. I don't see what's wrong with it. Or what's the point? Right, we need more brothers. He's probably contentioning righteous things on the behalf of Mark to bring. But Paul's contention was sharp too. But we don't need no brothers. We got to think double about, man. Because all the people who meet probably doing the work of the Lord ain't miss no days. You know?
And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed unto Cyprus. And Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren unto the grace of the Most High. Right,
now you got to ask yourself, why are these accounts in here, man? When you go to the book of Galatians, go to Galatians 2 and 11. Because what did Paul do to Peter, huh? He didn't give him a pact, man, and everything's going to be all right. He got on him, man. And sometimes you got to get on your brother, man. Everything ain't going to be nice, smooth words. You got to stir up a brother's spirit sometimes, man. Bring that up.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face.
I did what?
I withstood him to the face.
Right, he didn't fear Peter, man. He didn't say, well, this is Peter. He walked with Yahweh Shai. I'm under him. I can't talk to him that way. No, if you're wrong, brother, you're wrong, man. If you need to go harder, you need to go harder. Sometimes the Lord puts it in another brother's spirit to say and do certain things to provoke you to righteousness. Read on.
Because he was to be blamed. But for before that certain came from James, he did eat with Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision.
Right, he was acting a little shady. Right, read on.
And the other Jews dissembled likewise with them, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away.
Now that spirit of what Peter's doing is getting carried on to Barnabas. Now he also getting carried away. Read on.
With their dissimulation. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou being a Jew livest after the manner of Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews?
Right, and that's plain, man. So Paul stood up, right? He rebuked Peter, right, for the knowledge of truth, man, for the gospel. That's what you got to do sometimes, man. You got to make sure that whatever's going on, you standing up for the Lord. You provoking a brother to righteousness. You're trying to help him prevail in the spirit. Come.
Last thing before we end, Passover is in 2 weeks, right? Start cleaning your house spiritually and physically, right? Don't be found with leaven inside your house while you're eating of the Passover, and continue to purge until you eat of the Passover and afterwards, right? Because we drawing closer into the day of the Lord.
Yeah, April 3rd at sundown is the Passover. March 20th at sundown is the new moon. So mark your calendars. Be aware of these feast days. Rejoice in righteousness for another year in the truth in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And with that, Kwam Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.